We got to keep doing that brotherly shove. The brotherly shove is going to continue and continue and continue and continue. Me and Philly have been texting for a bit. That's why I got sidetracked. He's the reason. He's the reason why I'm late. Me and him were talking about something crazy. But let me tell you something. Appreciate everybody joined the chat. Okay, let me make sure this chat thing works before anything. We're good. Okay, cool. What's going on, Logan? House Cat. Deep voices. He makes videos every 2 seconds. Mark Holmes. What's going on, too? What's going on, dude? Got House Cat. Lindy Endzone says, Joey, been a minute, buddy. 3-0. Let's go. What's going on, guys? MLG Reality. What's going on, bro? John. Can't believe you're trying to ban the brotherly shove. Ridiculous. Richard Butts. John O'Malley. I am late. Yes. Logan says, Chelsea Tampa Bay fans say, yeah, I just made a video on that. I just made a video on the Tampa Bay dude and obviously Chris Sims being a stupid idiot as he normally is, because always got to say something bad about Jalen Hurts, always. The brother, I really hope I want them to do the brotherly shove 1,000,000 times this year. 1,000,000 times. Go, Caden. What's going on, man? MLG Reality says brotherly shove is fire. I love that. They got to trademark that. Tommy, what's up, dude? Glenn says Eagles for life. Dale Berry Sports Highlights, what's going on, dude? We're ready, man. We're ready. We're ready to go. Ready to get this thing going. And we could talk about obviously we could talk about Tampa Bay. If you guys have questions about Tampa Bay, we could go into Washington a little bit if you want to do that. I kind of already made a video on Washington this week, which I don't think you need to. I don't think you overstep Washington this week. I don't think you do that. Fans cannot look at the Bills versus Washington game from last week. I know Sam Howell was sacked 10 times, threw 4 picks. Can't take this game lightly. You really have to throw the record out the window. This is a divisional game, the first one. It's very important to get on track. I think the offense is getting on track. It's getting there. I thought as the most complete game we've played against Tampa Bay, I thought that was the most complete game. Okay, there's obviously issues with red zone a little bit. I think they still have to run the ball. I think Rashad Penny really needs to start. They really need to get him in the game. I think that's what they got to do. We have to get the running backs into the passing game. I think they really have to start. I think they have to get some of these other receivers involved. I think, not really other receivers. A.J. Brown had a good game. He dropped 2 touchdowns, but he wanted the ball and he got it, and he got robbed. He got robbed 2 weeks. He got robbed on 2 touchdowns last week from a PI call and a Rashad Penny hold, and then he dropped 2 passes this week. So, in the Tampa Bay Monday night game. Shout out to all the Eagle fans that were in Tampa Bay that were just repping in that game, which was fantastic. I mean, that was awesome. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. But yeah, I mean, I think getting wide receiver 3 involved was great. Getting Zaccheaus involved was fantastic on 2 throws. I think that first one in the end zone to Zaccheaus, I think Hurts just had to lead the pass a little bit in front of him because Zaccheaus had separation. But by the time that ball was thrown, the ball was in the wrong spot. Probably should have threw it a little high, too. In the end zone, you don't want to throw it too low to the chest. You want to kind of, unless you have a wide open guy with nobody out in front, but that's fine. It was kind of crowded back there a little bit, but he had separation. Britton Covey had a fantastic day. You know what made the difference on special teams? I think Covey and I think our punter did a fantastic job. I've noticed with our punter that the hang time wasn't as bad because I know some of Sipos' punts have had too much hang time, where the more hang time you have on a punt, the more that these, the kick guys, the gunners will go downfield very quickly. I think the hang time was not too long, which is good. So it gives enough room for, I think that's the main thing, giving, obviously enough room for Britton Covey, and which is great. I think the punting side was great, and I think the receiving end of the punt returns were great. They gave Devin Allen a shot just because Boston Scott wasn't playing. He's usually on the kick returns, but I really do hope that they give him more of a chance. Jalen Carter and the defensive line just wreaked havoc, man. I mean, even when Jalen Carter's getting double teamed, he's always there first before Fletcher Cox is. Fletcher Cox is leading the league second in quarterback hits right now. I mean, Fletcher Cox is looking like he's 26 years old all over again. It's absolutely amazing what they're doing. So, I just think there's a few things they have to clean up. What we're dealing with right now is definitely fixable. This is what happens when you don't play guys with. You have a new coordinator in the building. This is what happens when you don't play enough. When you play one series in the preseason games, and some of these older guys haven't really played since, the Super Bowl last year. I don't know. I think the offseason just needs to be a little different going into this year, but going into next year. But we'll see. Tom says, I hope Jalen's feeling better over that flu. Yeah, I mean, nobody knew that. And obviously a lot of the players didn't know that. And that's perfectly fine because, he's not going to tell everybody, oh, I'm just letting you guys know I'm sick. I got the flu this week. Apparently Kelsey said on New Heights, I think I watched New Heights today this morning. Kelsey said that, there has been some type of bug going around the team. So, how bad, I'm not really sure. So, Calscat says, what do you think of Evans as a receiver? I know we don't have room for him, but he's decent. Our boys shut him down. I think Evans is great. I mean, we only held him to 12 yards in the first half. I thought they did a really good job. And then it was really that one series where the Eagles defense on purpose, Desai had them playing very conservative. They weren't trying to give up the big play, so they were trying to run the clock down in the second half. So he got a lot of yards and the touchdown in that one series against our defense, and we were very, 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 very conservative. We kept everything underneath, gave up some big plays there, but we were good. He's a great receiver. He gets 1,000 yards every year. Baker Mayfield's not having Baker Mayfield's actually not playing too bad with that team the last couple weeks, and I think we're the best team they faced. They only faced the Vikings and they faced the Bears. So, and really can't say much else about the Bears. We all know how they are playing this year. They look worse. They look worse than last year, and they made more moves and they spent a lot of money on players, and kind of crazy. John says, we owe them for the last year. I say if we sweep both, New York Giants will be epic. John said, if they ban the brotherly shove, then I want to see them run Mulata as a fullback. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Jay said, I agree. Why not use Penny? There is no point having him on the team, not use him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're not. Like, Boston Scott wasn't even playing, and they still didn't use him on one snap. I don't know if they're just resting him as the guy needs some playing time. Like, what if a couple running backs get injured and you really need him in a game? I think Penny would be perfect for red zone. I think Penny on third and shorts, any short yardage, I think Penny would be perfect for it. The 4th and 2 pissed me off regardless. Like, you had a couple good passes to A.J. Brown. You got a nice screen pass. I think it was like a forward screen pass to DeAndre Swift. And then all of a sudden it was 4th down and they just put Gainwell in the game. I'm telling you right now, if DeAndre Swift's in that play, he's getting a first down. No doubt. There's no doubt. I think you get, like I'm saying, look, Gainwell's a good rotational guy. We've all said that, but I don't crap on Gainwell. I don't shit on Gainwell. It's literally just how it works with DeAndre Swift on the most important part of the play there, and they just didn't use him. So Terrell Young's defense should eat this year out. Defense could actually stop run. That's the only reason why we lose the second game. Offense just needs to start hot. Defense will play lights out. Yeah, I mean, I think getting Jalen Hurts into a rhythm offensively, I think that's getting him into a rhythm is where Brian Johnson's trying to find that comfort zone with Jalen Hurts. You go into a game as an offensive coordinator and you jot down like 4 or 5 plays that you think is going to get Hurts into a rhythm. And I think they did a better job in this game. I felt like the second half of the Vikings game, I thought they were getting into a rhythm finally. And then really this last game, I thought they played a lot better. Yeah, there's a couple things. I think there's times where Jalen Hurts bails out of the pocket too easily. I don't know if they're forcing him not to bail so much because, to be honest, those 2 passes to Olamide Zaccheaus, I think those 2 passes, those were that was over almost, that was like 5.5 seconds, almost 6 seconds in the pocket with that much protection. I thought Cam Jurgens played his best game. Like I said, I can't take too much into it. These guys had to start gelling together. These offensive linemen especially haven't played together too much in the offseason. They don't play a lot of the older guys when it comes to joint practices and the preseason games. They didn't play enough. Like literally these three games that we just played, it sounds stupid, but I felt like they were like our preseason games, and next year they can't do that. They got to change the offseason program, 100%. So definitely got to change it. Nate Banks 03 says, Joey, what's up? I'm thinking Penny finally gets his fair share of carries against the Commanders or Rams. Just a matter of time for him to start up too. Yeah, but what's making it crazy is that Boston Scott is coming back this week. So you're going to have 4 running backs active for this game. With 3 running backs, with 3 running backs with Penny involved, they never even hand the ball off to him at all. Never did. I'm still questioning why. Why? I got to look at these. I have to look at these press conferences to see if any of these beat writers have asked the question of why they're not playing now they're not playing Rashad Penny. I don't know. Real Get So Dragon said they need to use Penny to finish the game. Start the game with Swift, end with Penny, and sprinkle Gainwell. Yeah, I have no issue with that. Even if they Gainwell had what? How many snaps did Gainwell have? He had what? 14? What do you have? 15, 16, something like that. And what? DeAndre Swift had what, 17, 18 carries? DeAndre Swift had a good amount of carries the first couple weeks. Swift already is second in rushing behind Christian McCaffrey with 308 yards. It's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. Swift should be our red zone running back runner and receive period. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. They're trying to get these running backs into the passing game. It hasn't happened yet. We haven't even got the full extent. Okay, we haven't even got the full extent of what these running backs could do in the pass game, especially DeAndre Swift. We haven't even got the full extent of it yet. So we haven't even seen the best of DeAndre. Just imagine that one of DeAndre Swift, the one that hurts, it was obviously miscommunication and through that easy pick to Devin White. That would have been wide open. That would have been probably wide open. I know it was not. I know it was on Hurts. It was definitely not Swift because Hurts shook his head at him that he ran the wrong route or something. So I know that definitely happened. We got Teal Hopkins in the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, "Thank God Barnett has been low key." Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing though. To be honest, dude, he's got 1 tackle for loss. I think he's got 1 tackle. That's it. I'm glad they actually played Nolan Smith in this game a little bit more. That big hit on Baker Mayfield. He had one almost a little bit of a pressure there. We know that Hassan Reddick is very streaky when it comes to getting his name called. There'll be a month where he has no sacks, and another month he'll have 4 to 6 sacks in 1 month. It happens sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't know if the ligament in his thumb is the problem right now. What's going on with that? So. Hey, we'll find out. Appreciate super chat, by the way. So Easy One says, so we can take a second to say Brady QB sneak is no different than Hurts he did in Tampa. Yeah, this play has been out since 2006, okay? And because look what we tried to do. We tried to do it with Minshew. Remember last year Minshew did the tush push? And he went sideways. What makes this play work so much is obviously having great personnel up front. All of them getting low. Obviously having one of the best centers, and Dickerson I think is really good because mostly he goes through Kelsey. Most of the time he goes through Kelsey or he goes through Dickerson on that side. Okay, and number 2, Jalen Hurts could squat 500-600 pounds and has really strong legs and can get it done. And the Eagles have done it so much, they're the best at it. And other teams, I've seen other teams try. Some of them are success, some of them are not. But there's a good shot in 6 months that this will be gone. This play could be gone. I don't know if the NFL. Well, apparently, I don't know. Nick Wright's oh, it's going to ruin the NFL viewership. Apparently, it's not because this whole shit is getting so much attention. So the NFL is probably well, it's not ruining the viewership. It's actually allowing more viewers to watch these teams try to do it. It's actually entertaining. So it might not get erased or kicked out of the, of the league as a play, I guess. There's other ways that they could do it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can't just not run that play. A lot of teams, it's been in the playbook for years. I don't get it. I mean, we'll see though. T.L. Hopkins says, I'm saying he has no penalties. Yeah, no, he's been good. He's been good. He's been keeping his cool. And that's all we could really say. You know what I mean? Like, as long as Barnett keeps his cool, he's doing this thing, I'm fine. But he's not producing enough. He's not even really getting pressures, to be honest with you. I haven't really seen Barnett get a lot of pressures. I need to look at the statistics, but no, he hasn't been a knucklehead, which is a good thing. He's been good on the field so far, so. House Cat, appreciate the super chat, TL. House says, can the NFL put rules mid-season? No. They have in the summertime, or no, that's summertime. It's like early in the offseason, they have those meetings in Florida. I forgot, Miami, Florida. I forgot where they have those meetings. Those where all of the owners and all the GMs and usually like trade things pop up during those meetings and stuff for rumors of free agency and things like that. They have those meetings in the offseason. They can't do anything in season. They can't just stop something from happening in season. So, that's really how that goes. Logan says, just joined as Landon Dickerson. Yes, Dickerson had, apparently it was the shoulder, and then he had the contusion bruise on his knee. He is 100% fine for this week. He will be playing this week, so no Sua Opeta at left guard. You will have Landon Dickerson at left guard this week. I know Quez did not practice at all, so to be honest, I want to see more. I really want to see more of Olamide Zaccheaus. I really do. I want to see more Zaccheaus on the field. And if Quez is healthy, then I don't know what they're going to do here. Can't control injuries. I can't be mad at a player for injuries. These things like just happen. I'm looking for my water that I had. These things just happen, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Lowen says, Nick Wright is Mahomes' good boy, won't listen to him. I say tape from the game. Barnett kind of beated the Bucs O-line guy. Well, yeah, I haven't. I have to look at it again. John Blackbow says, hey, hate it because nobody else can produce the same efficiency. It's always been a thing with QB sneak, but now because Hurts is 91% plus in attempts, they lose their mind. Yeah, I feel like when the Eagles are starting to abuse that, but if it's a play that's always working, then it's working. It's fine, I feel bad for the offensive linemen piled up on each other because hopefully injuries don't become of that, So, we'll see. Chris says, Sidney Brown needs to start in the slot. Give it a shot. If he fails, move him back to safety. Yes. The one play, now, they originally had Bradbury on the inside. I don't think it worked out. They were really targeting Josh Jobe a lot last game, and there were sometimes he did good, sometimes he got caught. And then when the Eagles were on the field way too much, the defense was on the field way too much, Jobe had a PI call. And I think Jobe has played good the past couple weeks. I think he's been solid. I think the Vikings game he played really well. This game I thought he played pretty good. Like, for a second start, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as we all thought it was going to be when he got into the, he was the backup outside corner regardless. I know Eli Ricks was activated last week, more for special teams, but assurance just in case someone gets injured. I definitely see Eli Ricks as somebody that we have to keep an eye on between, for the rest of this year into next offseason and the future of this secondary. With, really at the end of the day, Big Play Slay is only on contract throughout the 2024 season, and that's really it. After that, he's pretty much a free agent, and I don't know if the Eagles are going to pay Slay again. He's getting up there in age, still playing at a high level, so no problem at all. But Sidney Brown, they ended up giving him a shot at inside nickel, and he played great. I think that would have been a potential touchdown to Mike Evans. He went in there. He lost on the separation to Mike Evans. He came back with his speed and got his hand in there. Just playing so well. I think the Eagles desperately need a hybrid player. Desperately, they desperately need that so badly. They need a safety/corner. They need somebody that could move down to corner if needed be. And I think Sidney Brown's going to be your guy for the future. I honestly do. They need, like, we talked about getting guys for the trade deadline. Like, we talked about certain guys that they can go trade for or whatever. But without Chauncey Gardner-Johnson being here, they don't have that hybrid guy that can play multiple positions. And Bradbury should not play on the inside. I didn't think he played well. He got to the outside and he was fine, but I don't think he played too great. But he doesn't play that position. That's just the way it is. Each one says, Chris Sims on the Eagles brothers shove. If I was defensive coach, be going head hunting on the QB. Go crazy. Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. That's ridiculous. I don't know what's his problem, dude. I honestly don't know. Like, ever since he doubted Hurts before last season, and then he played well, and then he complained about the scheme that he was in, that you could put anybody, remember what he said? You could put anybody in that Eagles offense, and they would thrive. Any quarterback would be successful in that Eagles offense and that scheme. You know, and then he ate his words at the end of the year, and then he became the victim after so many Eagle fans were attacking him, you know? Nate said, I think there's going to be multiple weeks where Swift and Gainwell separately go off with 100-yard games. I could be wrong, but we all know the O-line's that good. It is. But the thing is, I think you have a better talent than Miles Sanders that's in the building with DeAndre Swift. Swift is a guaranteed running back one. I don't want to treat him like one because we need him at the end of the season. I know a lot of fans complain during the game. They're like, why isn't Swift in? Why isn't? I think in the beginning on that 4th and 2, that's when it kind of pissed me off because he was on a roll. You know, Nick was talking about the hot hand, and yet they took him out for a couple series in the second quarter, a few series in the second quarter. It really pissed me off. You know what I mean? If you want to run Swift in the first half to get points on the board and then, you know, kind of sprinkle in Rashad Penny and Gainwell, I'm perfectly fine with that. I thought Boston Scott and Swift did really well in that Vikings game. I really like the combination between those two as well. So, you know, Logan says, I want to see Penny in action. I don't know why they haven't give him carries. I think him and Swift is a better duo than Swift and Gainwell. Yeah, I mean, because I think they just want more speed. I think they want to tire out defenses. They just want more speed because, you know, Penny's probably the last one they're going to put in the passing game, to be honest with you. I really want to see more from Penny, though. I really do. Because there's going to be, I feel like we're going to get our Rashad Penny game we're going to be very happy about. I think we're going to get that game. He's, you know, Penny hasn't played in a long time. He had 3 snaps in that Vikings game, and that was it, okay? You know, people are bitching and saying, oh, he looks slow. Like, I get it. But the guy hasn't. I think when DeAndre Swift plays for so long in a game, and then when these other running backs come in, it makes everybody look slow. DeAndre Swift makes every other running back. Sorry, my allergies are going crazy. He makes everybody else look very slow. Don, so it would be awesome to see if the Patriots beat Dallas. I think they do too. Yeah, I heard they had to change the cadence and stuff and what they were doing offensively because Ezekiel Elliott's they're gonna be running that ball with him. They're gonna be handing that ball to him like crazy. There's a good chance they could lose that game. They could. You saw a lot of weaknesses. The offensive line just can't stay healthy. They had to move a few guys around, which was already affecting that offense, getting pressure on Dak nonstop. The Patriots defensive line is very good. Judon's a good player. You know, not having Trayvon Diggs and having Bland and Jordan Lewis and Curse, you know, I didn't even think what's his face played well. The number one corner over there played really well. I always forget his name. You know, I think they struggled in the secondary. I don't think the Cowboys could stop the run. I think they're in trouble. Mozzie Smith has 1 tackle, I think. A combined tackle, or I think 1 tackle in 3 games. Literally. It's that crazy. Chris says, Bradbury needs to stay at cornerback 2. Brown could be a star at nickel. He could take over for Maddox. Trade for Buda Baker or Chin. Slay, Bradbury, Brown, Blankenship, and Baker. It would be nice. I don't know if they're going to be in the market for a safety this year. And the only problem with Buda Baker is how much are they going to want for him at number 2? His cap number for this year is like $13 million already. I don't know how much it is. I think it's in the double digits somewhere. So he's very expensive to hang on to this year. Unless they redo his deal and they extend him to a long period, that's up to them. But I think Jeremy Chin would be the better option because if you have the more players you have in your secondary that can play multiple positions, so if there are injuries occurring in your secondary, it doesn't change the beat of your defense. You don't have to change too much. If you have more than one guy that can play multiple positions, if Sidney Brown is here and they keep him and he's here and he's playing nickel and he's playing safety and they're moving him around and he's a hybrid player that knows multiple positions, if they go after Jeremy Chin on top of it, I think whoever they get will be a great luxury for this defense, as much as this defensive line is playing so well right now. Javon Hargrave, who? Like, that's what I've been saying. It's insane, man. It's insane. Cody Sorrell says Jalen Carr on draft night said he was the number 1 pick and put on the NFL on notice, and he kept his promise. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Will Anderson's been doing in Houston, but I'd say this team was just in the Super Bowl, and they literally got the best player in this draft. They did. I had Jalen Carr as the second best talent in this draft. Will Anderson was my number 1, and I knew the Eagles weren't going to move up for him. I know teams definitely passed up on Jalen Carter for all the offseason bullshit that was going on. So I totally get it. I totally get it. John says, Joey, what's up? I feel a 14-point win this weekend. We are going to make Washington one-dimensional, take away the run, and I believe we get at least 5 sacks. Yeah, I think this is, I don't want to take, I think Sam Howell, I think I think from a throwing pocket aspect, I think he's good. I think he's got a good arm. I'm just being honest. I think Sam Howell is dealing with some stuff right now because he hasn't been a full starter and, dealing with adversity. He was sacked 10 times and, the Bills don't play off coverage as much as we do. They don't really play too much off coverage like we are. They got Curtis Samuel. They got Terry McLaurin, and the backfield's very good too with Brian Robinson, a nice bruiser, elusive back, and Gibson being your speed type back where you could kind of line up wherever. So they have a nice mixture of players offensively. The only issue they've had for years is this quarterback position. I think their defensive line is great. Emmanuel Forbes on the outside is fantastic. And I think I think they get the backup tight end. They got involved a lot offensively since I think Logan Smith, I forgot his name, the starter that was out. I think it was out with a concussion. I'm not sure. But hey, I think things are gonna happen, man. I feel good. I feel very good. Feel good about it, but I don't want to take into consideration that we're gonna annihilate Washington. We got to put the record book away. This is a divisional game where anything could happen. This offense needs to be better, and I think this defensive line can get to Sam Howell. And Sam Howell is very inaccurate. He panic throws when he's pressured. When Sam Howell has a clean pocket, he throws fantastically well. He throws really well. But once you get the hit on him, he starts to panic a little bit and starts to, watch his blind side and really not trust the offensive line too much. He gets a little crazy. So I get it. Yeah, Isaiah Rodgers will be back with the team next year. He was the corner we picked up, 24 years old, could kick return, and he was ranked pretty high as a corner on PFF last year. I don't know too much about him, but we'll see. Joe says the lines on both sides of the ball could be the best in the NFL. You control the line of scrimmage, you don't lose. Yeah, I think if the offensive line takes care of, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, and and some of these, Chase Young and some of these other guys on the defensive line, I think you could win this game, no doubt. You might have to do some, I think the one thing you got to take advantage of, I think what the Bills really did well against that defensive line for Washington was they did a lot of screens. They did some quick things because I think they're too defensively. Washington's very aggressive, and you could take advantage of that aggressiveness with screen game or some different things. Short passes. You know what I mean? I think the middle of the field will be wide open at times, depending how they're going to play Jalen Hurts, whether it's cover zero or whatever, moving guys back, leaving the underneath route wide open. I think is big, you know what I mean? Those Reno linebackers playing decent around Utah. Yeah, to be honest with you, dude, I think the linebackers are playing great. I thought Morrow played well. I thought they both played well. Zach Cunningham was all over the field. I thought they played really good. Nakobe Dean has been hurt twice already. He's been hurt 2 times. He was hurt with an ankle, now he's hurt with a foot now. If Dean comes back, is he going to mess up this linebacker core? It might sound stupid, but you know, I don't want to ruin a good thing either. And that's why I wasn't going over my head about Dean. And health is a major concern here. The Eagles got to make sure, at least the next few weeks where Dean is still going to be out, that before Dean comes back, they got to make sure that they don't get any more injuries at that position. I know they can't control it, but Ronnie Hunter says, you heard the NFL made A.J. Brown change his cleats during halftime, or he would have had to sit out the rest of the game. Wait a second. So they made him change his, I thought, really? Why? They seriously made him change his cleats? Wow. I didn't know that. I thought he just changed them. I didn't know they made him change. They made him change it, unless maybe we're both wrong. I don't know. I never even heard that. I didn't even hear that. I heard he just changed his cleats because his cleats weren't doing too well. I guess he got longer spiked cleats, is what I heard. Punjab says Dean might be the backup to them. Yeah, I don't know. Would they really put Dean on practice squad, though? That's what I'm saying. Would Dean really be put on practice squad? Chris says, Morrow has played really good. I'm shocked. Yeah, well, you know, like, as you play more games, you see, like, if these players get acclimated better to this. Like, this defense is gelling better together. You know, like I said, like, you didn't get much work in the offseason with these two new coordinators. So John says, is it fair to say Dean is a bust? No, it's not fair at all because he's played a game, not even that. He's only played one game. What really sucks about what happened with our schedule in the beginning, we got to start stacking these wins. I think once we get to that Miami game, because look, at the end of the day, you have Washington, you have the Rams, you have the Jets, and then you have Miami. And then by that Miami game, this offense should be rocking and rolling by that time. Sunday Night Football, I guess Tua in that offense, and it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. You know, we're home, which is great, but you know, it's gonna be a nice storyline going to that game. Tua, Jalen Hurts playing at Alabama. You know, Jalen Hurts gets benched. You know, like I get it. You know, I think that story is gonna be a big story around that game. It's gonna be a big game on Sunday night, no doubt. Morrow was decent starter. Well, Morrow had. Yeah, I think he had like 116 tackles or something like that. But you know, the defense for the Bears were the worst team last year, as well. So yeah, that's true too. Desai and Morrow were together last year, so it worked well. Yeah, they were. Yeah, he was there. I think Desai was there when they drafted him. I think originally he was a safety, originally I think he was a safety when he was drafted. When Morrow was originally a safety. So. Jane 2100 says, "Yo, what's up, Joey? Can you agree Sunday is a sack breakout game?" It might. What's the record for sacks, too, right now for the Eagles have gotten a game? I think they can get a lot on Sam Howell. I think they can. If the Bills can get 9 or 10 on him, I think the Eagles can get as many or less than that. If they get 4 to 5, I'm fine with it. As long as they get, guys, pressures. The sacks don't matter at the end of the day, because even if one guy is doing his job getting pressure on Sam Howell and he goes a different direction or he moves up in the pocket, it's going to make a play for somebody else, which could result in a sack, or it could result in a pick. I think they're going to, if they don't get to Sam Howell once, I think I'll be shocked. I think I'll be kind of shocked. I think they should have at least a sack going to that game. I would think they would have a lot more, but I think they should be a little bit better. Bio says, Dean is not a bust. Dude obviously knows nothing about football. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's like, I know people are, well, I wouldn't say he's going to be, do I think he's going to be a bust, but do I think, like, is he going to affect the linebacker core? Can he stay healthy? You know, coming back from an injury, then he's got to make sure he's 100%, and he's got to get used to being in football games again. It's a whole process. Dean comes back and probably not going to light it up, but it's going to take some time, you know? Easy says, I think we're going to blow out Camara. Yeah, I mean, I would like to say that, but it's a divisional game. It's a divisional game. So, I mean, you can't say this is the New York Giants we're facing. This is Washington, which has a very good roster. It's not a crap roster. So, I don't get why people are saying we're going to blow them out. You know, but I think we road grade the Dolphins to keep Tua off the field. Joe says it's only the second season, too. Can't give up on him this quick, but I would make him earn the starting spot since the linebackers are playing. Yeah, that's what makes me nervous, Joe, because they are playing well. You know, they are playing very well. Guys, the Eagles' offense's finesse defense worst nightmare. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Decides an upgrade over again. Oh yeah, I mean, dude, when I see linebackers blitzing, like I saw like Zach Cunningham, like just like doing like a little stunt. Like I loved it. I love seeing these I just love that we're blitzing normally, like a normal, we're taking shots, and blitzing, and I love it. This is what I wanted last year. It's what I wanted. We didn't get this last year, and it looks good. One of the reasons I like Hurts' press conference, he don't care about the stats. He cares about winning. Glad he got revenge on the Bucs. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the example of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins' statistics are fantastic this year. They're great, but the team is 0-3. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to rely on the run game for the Eagles is probably the best I've seen since 2013. It's probably the best I've seen. If they keep it up, it's going to be like, I feel like we have a bona fide running back 1 in the backfield, which I don't want to use him that way, but Swift is really changing this run game. When we traded for him on the 3rd day of the draft, trust me, I said, man, if this guy stays healthy, this guy will run for 1,000 yards easy. He's got 300 yards in literally 2 games. Technically 3 games, but he didn't play the first game, barely. He had 1 rushing attempt in the first week. House guy said, do you trust our OC or Sirianni calling the plays? I mean, Brian Johnson is getting better, game by game, and I think just getting acclimated to what he's doing and obviously getting Jalen Hurts into a rhythm and getting more players involved. I think our wide receiver 3, whether it's Quez, whether it's Zacchaeus needs to be involved. I think they need to get Dallas Goedert way involved. They got him more involved last week, which was great. I think the running backs have to be more into the passing game. So I think there's room for improvement, but I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling good. Like, I don't think I'm too comfortable yet. I think we're almost there. The issues that we have right now are very fixable. It's not, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, in the off season, everything looks good on paper, but like, we got to see how they play. I've been saying that the whole off season. We got to see what it looks like, how they could play, Nate says, can't wait for Nakobe to come back. Not sure if they'll rotate him with Morrow. He's playing really good football as Cunningham. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Nakobe to come back and hopefully it's an upgrade. I'm hoping he plays as an upgrade. That's what I'm hoping. John says, I do not know football. Okay, people are fighting. Jesus, Skinny Batman going to do some damage this season. I also think the defense is going to get 2 touchdowns. I said Skinny Batman only had a few catches. He had an okay game, and this was A.J. Brown's game. I told you, I said A.J. Brown's going to have a big game. You could pass on the Tampa Bay Bucks. You could pass on that team like it was nothing. They tried playing man-to-man coverage. They couldn't do it. They started dropping guys back in cover 0, whatever they were doing, and they kept all the underneath routes open, and the Eagles took advantage of that. So it was pretty simple for us to get upfield in certain areas. So Chris said, Chris Sims is begging for us to fail. I guess. Seems the size of now is more knowledgeable than Gannon when it comes to being a defensive coordinator. Yeah, I think he's got more creativity. I think he does more creativity. He doesn't set up his players to fail. He doesn't put his players in failed situations. And he knows where to put his players in to win football games. He knows how to blitz. He knows how to move guys around. Once you know the strengths and weaknesses of every player from your offseason, then you kind of know in game like who you're going to use and what players can move to where. And I think his weekly game plan has gotten better every single week. The only issue I have with this defense is too much zone. I mean, other than the soft zone coverage at times, I think they're fine. Generate this pass rush. The reason why we're not getting the sack numbers up is because they're off the line. It's 3rd and short, and you have like these guys 8 yards. You have these guys like 3 yards. 4 yards over the first down marker. You know what I mean? Mike Evans isn't like some deep threat. Like, he's not like, he's an intermediate type receiver that can go the vertical if they need him to, but they weren't going to do that because they don't have time. Teams don't have time to throw a big vertical jump on us with these receivers, because the defensive line is going to eat. These quarterbacks have no time to get those passes off. Mike Evans isn't like that. He's a great player, but I thought they did a really good job. I thought Desai had his best game. Randy says Jalen Carr will be the first Eagles rookie Pro Bowler in a long time. Dude, that'd be great. He's already second? I think he's up there. I think he's tied with TJ Watt for like 2 forced fumbles and what does he got? Like 2 forced fumbles and like 15 pressures or something like that. It's like him and TJ Watt, like at 2 different positions. It's crazy, man. It's nuts. Fletcher Cox is leading. Fletcher Cox is having a great year this year. Fletcher Cox is, I think, second in quarterback hits right now. I mean, the statistics are there. You know, they're there, and it's showing. Jason says it's crazy guy didn't play week 1. Who, Swift? Yeah, I know. Trust me. I think that was like the main reason we're all flipping out. Like, it was an ugly game for our first game. And what really didn't help that whole entire game and that week was having a short week. Having a short week in your first week is horrible. Number 2, you don't have much tape on these teams, like going into 2 games in 1 week. It's hard. Barely any offseason with no these players barely had any work to gel in the offseason or to gel with this new playbook and these new coordinators, on top of having a short week the first week, on top of facing Bill Belichick, Brian Flores, and Todd Bowles. That's a tall stack to deal with. It's a tall stack dude. That's a tall stack of defensive coordinators you have to deal with the first few weeks of the season. Those defenses brought it to us, man. They did. They totally did. And we won, man. We won all the games. Michael says, Dean didn't get to start last year, but every time we saw Dean play, he made impact on the field. Yeah, and that's the issue too. Like, it's not like Dean played half a season last year as a full-time starter. I mean, Kaiser White's playing so well with the Cardinals right now, especially in that Dallas game. Where the hell was that? When did Kaiser White make plays like that when he was with us? I don't even remember that. You know, it's crazy. Sometimes, like, I don't know. Kaiser White was like, there was weeks where Kaiser White had like a little ankle injury, and I was like, oh my God, let Dean play. I wanted Dean to play so badly. Like, I wanted Dean to play. I want him to get in there and just start playing, you know, and just get some games in, you know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting. Joe says, Joey, how is the offense line for Washington? It's a good line. I think their left guard. I think the left guard spot is a little weakness, but I think they're good. Do I think they're not all Pro Bowlers or anything? But I think they have a sufficient line to where they could pass the ball pretty quick. They'll give him enough protection, but I feel like the Eagles could give a lot of damage there. I feel like there's a lot of tape to watch because I think their left guard spot was a little banged up, and I think their right tackle was a little banged up as well. Didn't really play too well in that Bills game. So there is some weaknesses there. I don't think they don't have the best offensive line in football, but I think they're an okay group. They're not horrible. I'll give credit to Jeff Stout and Tracy Rocker and Sean Desai. Got them boys ready, especially the Nolan Smith QB hit, dude. We need to see more Nolan Smith. I think that's 100% obvious. We need to see more of that. You know, I think we really need to, you know, I know he got more snaps at defensive end, which is great because they had him listed on the snap percentage list. They had him as a linebacker the past couple weeks. No snaps, maybe some special teams. 13 before this Tampa Bay game? I think he only had like 13, 14 snaps in 2 games. Wasn't much, you know, but that hit was great though. It was great. It's probably the most violent defense I've ever seen in my life. It really is the most violent. I mean, even like the safety that we got, like Jordan Davis. I mean, Jordan Davis is great. Oh God. I mean, the pass rush. I did not even expect Jordan Davis to have the pass rush that he has right now. It's disgusting, dude. It's disgusting. It's so good. It's disgusting. And Jalen Carter. It's so funny on that pressure on. I remember what was it? It was Fletch and it was Jalen Carter. Carter got double teamed and got to the quarterback first before Fletch did. And Fletcher had the single block. It's just nuts, man. Just nuts. Reb said, Joey, how do you feel about Sean Desai? I think we are so good and numbers aren't popping off on partnership because we play the run instead of just playing the pass and sending Sweat, Reddick. What you think? No, I think it's good. I think the one thing we can kind of agree on here is when it comes to the Eagles defensive line, I think when you thought that Javon Hargrave was the biggest loss of the year, this is before the draft even started. It was. I think Chauncey is becoming the bigger loss because I feel like you need to get a hybrid player in here. If not, they're not cross trading Sidney Brown, which I think he's going to get. Hopefully, you know, we'll find out what this the rest of the year what comes of this defensive line. I think our defensive ends need to be a little bit more productive, but I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Everybody's getting somewhat. I think Reddick had a pressure last game. I think he had his hands on Baker Mayfield. I think the Vikings game he had a hand on Baker Mayfield. Like, Brandon Graham is getting, Brandon Graham has a good rush on the outside. He gets close to, Baker. Baker goes to the inside. Someone else makes a play. It's all hand in hand with all of these defensive linemen. Tupelutu is he got a sack. You know what I mean? It's benefiting everybody, which is great. You know what I mean? Tupelutu's he's been hurt most of the time. This is like his first healthy season with the Eagles, and he got his first sack the other night, which was great, But against the run, Jalen Carter has been the bigger difference. Jordan Davis has been the bigger difference, really, because I didn't think Jordan Davis in his second year, was going to be a defined pass rusher. Never would I have expected that whatsoever. I thought he's going to do good against the run this year. Statistics aren't going to come out. But I got to say, he must have worked his ass off this offseason, because what I saw was just obliteration, bro. Insane. Just insane. Appreciate the super chat. Cheese, BO1969 says, we need Penny to be our running back 2, not Gainwell. Man, a lot of hate for Gainwell, man. A lot of hate. I don't think Gainwell's not a bad running back. This whole group is good, okay? We don't know what we have in Rashad. I mean, we know what we have in Rashad. Rashad Penny is a couple pounds lighter. I think he was like 235 to 237 when he was with Seattle. He's like down to like 225, 227 now. And I want to see what he looks like for a series, of a few runs. See if he can get on a run. Because I think between the tackles, he runs very well. In open space, he's a beast. He's quick. He's fast. But we haven't seen that. It looks like it's slow motion with him, because they put him in for 3 plays this season, and everyone's saying that he sucks. Or, I think it's not fair. I think they need to use him in some aspect. You can't sit him like this. He needs to start hitting people. He needs to just get into a game and just kind of get the juices flowing a little bit. I think that's a big problem. Vince says Penny is appreciate the super chat, by the way. So Penny is shot is what insiders are saying, that he's nowhere near the speed or looseness. Look, I know it was a couple years ago. He led the league. Even till this day, when at yards per carry, it's insane. It's insane. Just imagine what Swift can do on top of what Penny can do. It's you got quickness and explosiveness with Swift, and I think the best when it comes to vision, no doubt. His vision, he sees things before they happen, and I like how at times he is patient behind his blockers and follows them and does a good job, and just the moves that he does, and he's just so athletic. We know how Swift is. Okay, when he got traded here, we knew what we were getting. The guy has done damage to us. He did damage to us the first game last year. Okay. Bobby says Hal was sacked 9 times last week and has been sacked 19 times this season, leading the league. Damn, I didn't know that, because I didn't really watch Washington the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks I didn't watch Washington the first 2 weeks. I think I watched the Cardinals Washington game. The Cardinals Washington game, and that game against the Cardinals, he could have been picked off. The Cardinals could have intercepted. They dropped 3 picks, maybe even 4. There could have been 3 or 4 picks from Sam Howell in that game against the Cardinals on top of it. So sacked 19 times, and that's nuts, man. Yeah, that's nuts. Be no reason for the Eagles to get at least 4 sacks in this game, or more than that. That ball is coming out. I feel like if they get to Sam Howell, they're knocking that ball out. It's going to come out. So we'll see. Let's trade for Jonathan Taylor so it could be Taylor Swift on the backfield. Yeah, they're definitely not trading for running backs anymore. That's definitely over with. Yeah, that's crazy. EC1 says, the Commanders have allowed 19 sacks a season. That's the most by a team in the first 3 games since 2006 Raiders. Sam Howell on pace to be sacked 107 times this year. Holy shit. 19. I got to write that down so I remember that. 19 sacks. Holy fuck. That's... Wow. That's crazy. I did not even know that. Reps, I don't think it's hate. It's just knowing the talent you have. Swift running back 1, Penny running back 2, Gainwell and Scott. I mean, to be honest, I was going to put Gainwell as the number 2 because how am I supposed to rate Penny if he's not playing? Like that's the problem I'm having. How are you supposed to rate him if there's nothing there? How are you supposed to rate this whole thing? I don't know how you're supposed to rate it. It's almost impossible. Honey Badger said Jalen Carter will be like Chris Jones. Interesting. House says our boy's going to feast on Commanders quarterback. Diane said, besides the nickname Baby Rhino, I call Jalen Carter the Boogeyman. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. Are you saying that because I got that poster back there? No, I'm just kidding. The Boogeyman sounds pretty good. He's going to get you. He's going to get you. He's going to get you. Boogeyman. Boogeyman. From Halloween. Great. I should do that like a trailer with Jalen Carter. Remo says, remember when we all thought Honey Badger was about to become an Eagle? Yeah, I remember that. I totally remember that. Yeah, I thought it was going to happen. But remember he had that virtual call with the Eagles. Remember it was a virtual call. He never actually visited the Eagles. And then I thought it was bullshit after that. Like he visited the Saints, but he had a virtual call with the Eagles. Rogue says, if we can get 10 sacks, I'm open with the pressure will be at least 2 to 3 picks. I think we need some revenge on that game we had last year. That crap game that we had last year that took us out of being undefeated. That game where we got messed up on the Dallas Goedert face mask that wasn't called. Then the Quez Watkins fumble after he caught the ball in open space, got up and got the ball popped out, not knowing. John says Penny is soft and injury prone. How? How do you know that? How do you know that? John, he's got 3 snaps this year. How is he soft and how is he injury prone? He hasn't even got hurt this year. He only played 5 games last year. I get it. Wait, he said Jalen Carter, a.k.a. Baby Rhino. I like Boogeyman better. I don't know why. I think because I'm just a horror fan. I think that's just the reason why. John says, we should call Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter Bebop and Rock Steady. He says Kenneth Gainwell faced a stacked box on the league, leading 71.43% of his 14 carries in week 3. His 43 yards were 1 yard over expected. DeAndre Swift saw a stacked box of 50% on his 16. What? So defenses are playing more in the box when Gainwell's playing? That's interesting. Does that even make sense? In 3 games, that's what's been. Send me that tweet. Send me that tweet on that one. That's interesting. I want to retweet that. That's actually interesting. Interesting. Character Development says Ruddy Gainwell on 4th and 2 gave me JV. Yeah, I didn't like that. Like, Swift is in there. Why are you putting in a fresh running back on his first carry on the most important? Like, that resulted in no points. Swift isn't going to get you those extra couple yards. Sometimes, it just depends. Like, they knew we were running the ball. They knew it was going to happen. They knew we were running right up the middle, and you switch running backs. I don't know. Flying High says, I like Boogeyman. It is. John said, how do I know that because he was always hurt when he was in Seattle? Yeah, but I'm saying this year he's not hurt yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't help to sit him. It doesn't help to have him signed and then sit him. It's like, yeah, I could say that about any player. I could say about a bunch of players that are injury prone that are not injured. I could say, we could have said that about Brandon Graham having an Achilles and having a season that he had last year. It's possible to have a good season. They didn't sign it. They're not signing him to sit him the whole season. I mean, if they do, then that's stupid, but SC Birds fans 803 says they played in the box because Philly was trying to run the clock out. That's probably why. Yeah. It's probably why, because Gainwell was in towards the last, the Gainwell. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense because Gainwell was in at the end of the game and when they were, trying to stop them from running and trying to, not evade the clock, get the ball back, whatever. So I get it. So Xanica says Swift is more dual threat than Gainwell. Maybe is why that. But this is Kenny getting all 4th carries. Plus before, did you know that Covey has been the best punt returner in the league? Yeah, I read that today. Let me actually read that, actually. I saved that because I was like, that's cool. Hold on. If I could find this shit without. All right. So it says, don't look now, but Britton Covey is one of the top punt returners in the NFL this season. Of punt returns with 3+ returns this year, Covey is third yards per, third and what yard was that? Yards per average, which is 18.8 yards on a return. Second in punt return yards, 113, and 0 muff punts. Well, that's not true. He had a muff punt. He had 1 muff. I said 0 muff punts, but that's not true. He had 1. Patriots game, right? Or was it I forgot what game it was. He had a muff punt this year. I mean, 113 yards already on punt returns? I would never have expected that. When I saw the news, my brain just dropped. It says notable. So the notable DT. Yeah, I think I've seen this today too. Notable defensive tackle double team percentages: Aaron Donald 55%, Hargrave 56%, Fletcher 58%, Jeffrey Simmons 60%, Jalen Carter 69%. He's got more pressures. He's got what, 15, 16 pressures for the year with less snaps. Less snaps. He had less snaps probably than Aaron Donald. He had less snaps than a lot of defensive tackles around the league and is producing more. That's insane, man. That's insane. 69% and still effective, which means this guy is a fucking steal. This guy is a monstrous steal. No doubt. That's insane, though. Payne's been in the league since 2018. Only has 1,918 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns in 5 years. Okay, so I don't get what you're saying. He's not coming here as the number 1 back. He's coming here in a rotation. So I don't get what you mean. I mean, if you don't like Rashad Penny, that's fine. I respect the opinion, but like to say he's not going to do anything or to say he's injury prone, yeah, he probably is. But like we haven't seen him play this year. So until he gets hurt this year or something happens, we'll put that to rest, you know? Rogue said with 4th and 2, they picked the wrong running back. Gamel is our smallest back. They should have put Petty in, not Swift. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. Thank you, Bears. Twice, Falcons, Seahawks, Saints. First round pick for passing on Carter. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who was really on the board. So I know that he wasn't visiting teams out of the top 10. I know he visited Seattle, he visited the Bears, and he visited the Eagles. Apparently, the Bears had no interest in Carter. Hence why that trade went so damn quick. We moved from 10 to 9. What was it, a 4th-round pick, whatever it was? It was very easy to trade that pick. Very easy. We didn't have issues trading up that 1 spot to the Bears. I think Seattle was in huge contention. Seattle was in huge contention to get him. I thought he was going to be gone by 6. That's what I thought. I'm saying he's injury prone. That's why he don't get on the field. Okay, but why did they sign him then? Then why did they sign him? The Eagles take a chance on a lot of players that have had injury history, and some of them work out and some of them don't. You know what I mean? If he was that, and he is injury prone, but if the Eagles didn't see something in him, they wouldn't have signed him. You know, and if they said, oh, you know what, we signed Penny was signed before the draft, before everything. Penny was signed very early, before DeAndre Swift trade, before all of that, before Boston Scott signed his 1-year deal. Okay, so or maybe it was after, I don't know, the Boston Scott 1-year deal signing. I think it was after the Boston Scott 1-year deal. Okay, so you know, where is it? I don't know. What I mean, there's a reason here. They could have cut him. If they figured that they didn't think they were gonna get Swift and they get these other guys, why didn't they just cut him in training camp? Why didn't they cut him for the final 53 if they didn't want him? They obviously have a plan with him. He's not here for no reason. He's not taking up a spot having 4 running backs for no reason. Joey, how do you feel about the trading for Kenny Moore, rated number 1 slot corner last year on his deal? Cap hit is a little hefty though. I don't know if they're interested in trading for another receiver. I don't. I mean, if Quez can't stay healthy, then I don't know what they're going to do with him. You know? Quez has got this hamstring, which could happen. You know, it's a hamstring. Hamstrings could either heal up and he'll be fine the rest of the year, or the hamstring is going to linger and linger and linger, or he'll come back for a game, 2 games, get hurt again, linger. You know, it happens all the time. Folks, I still think Howie will improve this roster at the deadline. Where? Who knows? Yeah, we'll see. The Eagles are always active during that time. The Eagles are always active during the trade deadline. During this time, they're always active. And if any player that we get is going to be more luxury, just remember, okay? Just remember something. If they really want to bring Sue, or they want to bring Linval Joseph back, or somebody back, they could do that if they want. You know, like, they can always bring a guy back. Like, there's going to be guys out there that are waiting to jump on a roster that needs help, that's a playoff contender, that's a Super Bowl contender, whatever the case may be. So it's very early in the season still. We're only going into week 4. You know, by week 8, by week 7, week 6, you know, in a couple weeks, few weeks, we'll see how it goes. Led says it would be nice with the tampering with the Cardinals. We get one of their first-round picks. Well, I think I think we already got. I think we switched like 5th rounders, or something happened. I know something happened during that whole situation. I know the Cardinals got penalized. We got penalized. I don't know why the Eagles should get penalized. He did this on his own in secret. So, Easy says Jalen Carter leads all the NFL DT in pressures after 3 weeks, 15, tied for 7th in the league overall. Nick Bosa and Trey Hendrickson. Boy. D-Block says Kenny Moore is a slot corner, not a slot wide receiver. Or is he talking about the wrong Kenny? Maybe he's talking about the wrong guy. That's probably why. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is. He said the name, and I don't know. I don't think we're going after a wide receiver. I have no idea who Kenny Moore is. So I didn't even know who the guy. Someone said a guy's name, and I just said we don't need a receiver. I don't even think they need to waste their time on another receiver. I didn't even know who the guy was, so I have no idea. Vince, I think they're saying Penny for late in season when weather gets crazy. That is where he thrives. Yeah, that could be another reason. If they don't run with him the next couple weeks, I'm probably going to believe that a lot more. They're saving him for the end of the season. I think that's what they're going to do. I could totally believe that. One piece says Brian Johnson coaches Pitts back to Florida, and he's from Philly. No, he's not getting traded. There's already been rumors about Kyle Pitts. There's already been rumors about him going to the Cowboys already, and that was already shot down the other day. Rogue says that we still deserve a swap of first-round picks with Arizona. Yeah, probably not. Johnson, he's good and healthy, but I don't know if I could trust Penny to play full season even as a backup. I mean, shit, that's why Seattle, Chris Carson, Kenny Walker phased Penny out. Well, they're resting the shit out of him now, so if they're resting him now and they're saving him for later, then he'll probably be fine, you know? They obviously know what's going on with Penny's body. I mean, I think the health department for the Eagles has been really, Penny said they've been taking really good care of him. Obviously he wants to play and get some chances out there for maybe this is the better for him. Maybe we're going to see a running back, you know, putting in a fresh running back that hasn't played all season later on in the season where everybody is taking a toll on their bodies every single week is probably a really good thing. You know what I mean? So Penny is like starting later on, then great. You know, that as long as he stays healthy, like we said, and, you know, if that's how they want to do it, then good, you know. I think they're saving Penny until someone's injured. So that's not true. That's not true because Boston Scott was out 2 games and they barely used Penny. Boston Scott got the concussion in the Vikings game, and Penny only went in for 3 snaps because DeAndre Swift was carrying the whole load of our offense. And then Scott did not play in Tampa Bay, and he got no snaps. So I don't believe it's because of waiting for injury. We've already have injuries at running back, and he hasn't even got a shot. Because I really think we'll get Reddick going this week against Washington. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I wouldn't put it past them if they just bench him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put it past them. You know? We'll see. John's, yeah, we'll see what happens. We do have the best O-line in the league, so maybe it's better. Well, I think that's definitely a big truth to that too. Is yeah, you have the best offensive line in the league, where he's gonna take hits every play. He's definitely gonna take hits, but he's not gonna take as many hits with this offensive line. You know what I mean? If you can get these, look what Swift's doing in the second level, you know, like once he gets to the second level, man, you're already guaranteed upon contact, you're getting more yards, you know? So we'll see what happens, man. I'm not trying to fight with you or anything. Like I get it. Like there's a reason why they signed him. If Trey Sermon was supposed to be the better back over him, they would have cut him. If he was like, if signing Rashad Penny was a panic move because we lost Miles Sanders and we already had Scott signing the 1-year deal and they needed somebody and they got the Swift trade done and then cut him, it would make sense. If they really didn't want him, it was more of a panic move for the Eagles. But obviously they see something in Rashad Penny for the season. It's not going to help Rashad Penny getting another contract from another team next year. Definitely not. I mean, DeAndre Swift probably needs... I don't know what they're going to do with him at the end of this year. There'll be more to talk about at the end of this year. I know the Eagles don't like paying running backs. I know they hate paying running backs. Scott's gone. Penny's gone. Swift's gone. Gainwell's going to be the last running back still standing this year. I think Scott's going to come back on another 1-year deal because Boston Scott doesn't want to play anywhere else. I think we all know this by now. A 24-year-old running back at DeAndre Swift, only missed 3 games last year. Got to stay healthy this year. This is the best. I mean, he had his best game second week of the season in his career. The Lions' offensive line last year was good. They had a great offensive line. Not as good as this one, but it was still solid. Very good offensive line. I think Reddick is still kind of injured. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if the ligament in his thumb or his hand placement's kind of like being affected, I guess. But we have to remember that Reddick is very streaky. There'll be like 2 months where he doesn't get sacks. Then the 1 month he'll get 4 to 5. Another month he'll have less. He's very streaky when he gets his sacks. Okay, so I think the time is coming. It's going to help us out at the end of the day because like Reddick is going to want more money because we were already kind of worried about a holdout from Reddick at the end of this year, because, you know, a lot of these guys are with these holdouts. You know, Reddick came for less money. He could have got paid a lot more money going somewhere else, you know. Rick says, as much as I love the Oz touchdown, I would like to see the wide receiver 3 position increase the production. I feel like it would help a lot in close games. Airbrush says, Penny looks slow. That's what a lot of people are saying. I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, everybody looks slow because DeAndre Swift is so fast. I think that's what makes it look really bad. Vince said, when they gave Swift 28 carries, but Penny only had 3, I was legit shocked and confused because Penny could have been the clock out guy. Well, I wasn't. Swift got taken out because he was tired. They took him out because he's been literally, they force fed him the ball. So he had to sit for a few plays, get a breather, and then go back in. You know what I mean? Like some guys need breaks. I mean, he carried 28 carries, 28 carries, dude. Come on now. He almost had 30 carries in a game. Like when did we ever do that with a running back? Never. Unless it's like a rainy game or something like that. If it's raining out or something like that, then I can understand you'll have a lot of, you can have a 200-yard game with a running back just because it's really bad weather. And that happens a lot of times. So, man, it says they're not letting Swift leave. No chance. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because that's the one worry I have with DeAndre Swift. I have a worry that they won't keep him and they'll just let him. They can't let him walk. He's not just some running back he's not like some 30-year-old running back that got onto this roster and had a good year. You know, no, this is a 24-year-old stud. A stud. I have no problem giving him money. Depending on what I mean, look, I'm not a big fan of paying guys $16 to $20 million a year as a running back. I'm sorry, but this is the reason why the injuries that we have, the injuries that the league is having right now with these running backs, this is why running backs don't get paid a lot of money, because all it takes is one bad hit. It can happen to any player. Anybody can get injured, but this is why these running backs need to stop crying that, all the running backs need to get paid like they, it's not. It's a rotation back league now. You're not using just one running back anymore. It's not good for. It's not good. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not good for running backs health-wise to be carrying the load that much. You can't give DeAndre Swift the ball 28 times every game. He won't last. His health won't last. You know. You run the ball with Swift 28 times a game, the guy's going to be in the hospital, or he's going to have to take like 2 months off in the offseason to kind of get his body right, because his body will be messed up by that time. John says, I just hope Swift resigns. We haven't had a shifty back like him since Shady. I know. That's why it's not a Wendell Smallwood type player that's leaving. It's not a Miles Sanders type player leaving. It's a special back. It's a special back from Philadelphia. Was a Georgia Bulldog. I think his mindset and his like pushback, and I just love his attitude when he plays. And he's gifted right now. He's gifted. He's been gifted the #1 offensive line in the league that's literally opening holes for him the size of fucking Texas. I'm not even kidding. Like, running backs would dream to run behind a line like this. And if he's got to take a little bit less money to run behind this line, and he loves this city and he loves just everything that the Eagles are doing, and he buys into what the Eagles are doing, and he likes Jalen Hurts. And I think the one thing that really makes him even more unstoppable is because Jalen Hurts is a weapon within itself on those RPOs and those read options. Okay, I think that's what makes it even better, on top of the good offensive line and top of these good wide receivers where you could spread out the defense a little bit. Now having Jalen Hurts, and he hasn't played with a mobile quarterback since high school. He hasn't played with a mobile quarterback in a long time, so we'll see. Vince, I meant the opposite. Like, how did Penny not get 10 carries and Swift 21? Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just wanted him to roll with Swift more. I think what happens is, because if Swift had a lot of carries in the first game against the Patriots, I would say they weren't going to run him 28 times in this Vikings game. It would have been way too much. But Swift barely had any playing time. He had one rushing attempt, and I think one pass was thrown to him that whole entire Patriots game. Why they didn't use him, I have no idea. But yeah, the second game, he had a lot of carries, and hence he didn't play the first game. So you were able to sacrifice him playing a full game like this, like crazy. So Rev says, thinking ahead, unfortunately, I don't want it to happen, but after the season, Kelsey retiring, depending on Cox, Graham will have some good money going into next year, and we'll have a lot of draft picks. We'll have 10 draft picks going into next season. You got 2 second-round picks. You got a first-round pick. You don't have 2 firsts anymore, but who knows? They could trade back into the first round and get a player easily with the draft picks they have, and even 25's draft picks. Compensatory picks as well. See where the Eagles have with those, depending what happens going into this year. So, yeah, we have to think ahead, but I'm not really going into the offseason next year or, thinking about that right now. But, yeah, you have to think about Kelsey. You have to think about Fletcher Cox, and you got to think about Brandon Graham. So, those are 3 very important players to the Eagles. Hassan Reddick has 1 more year, so he'll have 1 more year going into next year on the last year of his deal. So we'll see what happens, Donnie said DeAndre Swift is the Ferrari of running backs. Oh, yeah, he is. He definitely is. Legend says Swift would be a Pro Bowl player in any team, but we have the dynasty, so he would be a Hall of Famer. For example, Kareem Hunt was going to be Hall of Fame in KC, but now he's just a rotational play in Cleveland. But look what happened to look what happened to some of these guys. Like Kareem Hunt. Look at even Jamal Charles, like running backs that were overly used in the old days of how they use running backs. Their careers don't last long, man. The careers don't last long. The shelf life for running backs is very short. It's not a long career. You get your running backs that could play between age 30 to age 33, maybe, but it's very rare that bodies last. Everybody's body is different. It's really hard for running backs to maintain their bodies for that amount of time and the amount of hits that you take over the years. So it's going to be interesting. Beast Guards, let's talk about Jalen Carter. I'm obsessed, and Jordan Davis is not a... Jordan Davis is a player that I didn't think was going to have that much of do that much damage and as a pass rusher this year. But, man, looks great. I mean, a forced fumble already this year. I think he's got like 2.5 sacks this year already. And I don't even care about the sacks, dude. Like the pressures and getting hits on these quarterbacks, and it's really helping out the secondary, man. I mean, I think of that safety play. You had Carter and Davis on the field because going into next season, having Carter and Davis, I mean, I know they want to split up the rotation. They don't want to put too many great guys on one line. They want to, mix it up with some veterans and guys that can go in there. So, but Jalen Carter has been, I mean, both of those guys, 2 first-round pick defensive tackles, man. You got the best one in the draft last year. As long as Jordan Davis maintains his weight and he doesn't lose any explosiveness, he won't be a bust. That's really the only reason why I figured, like, the only way that pick is not going to work out is if he, like, doesn't follow a diet plan. And he was like 360 pounds. He was like, what, 360 before the combine. When he got to the combine, he was like 330, 340. I think by that time, I think he's down to like 335 now. It's 332, 335, something like that. I mean, 6'6", 335. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. What both of these guys have done. You definitely got the future to your defensive line with those 2 guys up front in the trenches. No doubt. And it wouldn't surprise me if they add more next year. You know what I mean? It wouldn't surprise me if they add another defensive end or a defensive tackle next year. I mean, who knows? They could add a lot more to it. But that's a good point. They got Swift caught up in those carries. One of Brian Johnson needs to clean up the red zone. I totally agree. They got to clean it up. Yeah. It's a problem. It's not, I don't like passing from the 2-yard line or the 1 yard. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I think the one that A.J. Brown was a little high. I think it was on his tippy fingers. So I wouldn't make a big deal out of that one. But, yeah, they need to run the football. They need to run the football. I would run. I mean, your best play, your best moments of the season so far in 3 weeks is the run game. No doubt. Your run game and the amount of running backs you could do. I mean, that's why I'm saying Rashad Penny would be perfect for that. Would be perfect. Getting Swift in there would be perfect. They've tried, but I don't think they got to clean it up. I think we'll be all right. I'm not worried about that too much. B says our young DT is giving Cox fresh legs. Yeah, I mean, with more of a rotation, giving more of a rotation. Fletcher Cox is playing like he's 26 years old right now. He's playing very, very good, no doubt. EC1 says Swift said he didn't know what he didn't get a 4th-quarter carry. He said he was ready. Asked if he would have liked to carry in the 4th. He chuckled and said, "We won. I'm happy about that." Yeah, I mean, he probably would have wanted to play the whole entire. He could probably, I mean, to be honest, he could probably tote the rock more than. I mean, he could. They want to give him a rest. I mean, I get it. He wants to get into the game in the 4th. He had his helmet. He had his helmet on too. I mean, he had his helmet on. Like I thought he was going to go back in that game, but I guess not, Kind of nuts. Skid Marks, what's going on, dude? Says, hey, bro, I feel like we have the first 5 weeks to get straight before Miami. Miami hasn't seen any line like ours. O and D. We should just run all day and keep Hill off the field. Yeah, when you're playing Tyreek Hill, for a fact that corner is going to be off the line. You can't play man-to-man coverage with Tyreek Hill. So if you're going to play off-the-ball coverage, it's going to be when Tyreek Hill gets on the field. There's no doubt. So I feel like, there will be a switch, somewhat of a change, when it comes to, facing Miami. I don't know who Miami's faced the past few weeks in order, so. But probably the best team they face leading to that game. I think the Bills and the Dolphins play this week. That should be a good one. See what happens with the Bills. See how they do against them. So we'll see. Rome says play action. Yeah, you can do that too. But I'm not interested in quick passes from the 1 yard line. I don't like that. You might as well do a tush push or something. But I think the run game is definitely got to be there Vince said, I wish they would implement some shovel passes, use Penny as a fullback in sets. Yeah, they're not interested in using fullbacks. I don't know. I like fullbacks. It gives you an extra blocker at times and could kind of lead. The running back could take advantage of a fullback in front of them just because if that guy could lead the way, you could just push a body in there and have someone pull you right into the end zone. I think that's always a great thing to have a fullback. The Eagles have just not done that. Because you begin to appreciate how good our drafting is compared to when we drafted stiffs like Leonard Renfro, who tripped on the grass. Yeah, totally true. Renfro hasn't played well the past few weeks. I mean, the Raiders aren't really playing too well. So, everybody says, why don't Shakes if I were to do a video together with LB and Philly Mike? That would be fire. Yeah, one day. I mean, we're all busy, dude. Like, we all have our schedules. Like, I have a regular job. I work 2 YouTube channels full time, and I'm very busy, So some nights I just can't. I know me and LB had a stream a little bit ago. I've been, there's gonna be a time where I might, me and LB might do something one day, again, because I thought it went really well, and it was nice to get together and finally finally do a stream together, which I think it should have been done a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I would love to do it. No doubt. No doubt. Dank says, I like fresh cocks. I bet you do. Pause. Robe says, we don't even run play action boots. I think that would create big plays. Yeah, we don't do the boots at all. No, we don't. Play action, I think. Well, the Vikings game, we ran play action. We did play action. Every first down, we did play action. The first down of every series we did, and it didn't do anything. I don't know. The creativity in that game offensively wasn't great. I think the second half of the Vikings game, we got more into a rhythm, but yeah. I'm glad the size started blitzing. I'm like, I just loved it. Saw Zach Cunningham getting in there. I loved it, man. I just loved it. Oh, here comes the blitz. I'm like, oh, dude, just hearing where blitzing is just, as a defensive coordinator, you gotta have creative ways to get pressure on quarterbacks. I think he did a really good job. I think he did a great job. Dank said Adam Kaplan said that he plans to, the plan was to use Gainwell to end the game if they were up by 2 scores. Okay. All right. So it was in the in the record book that they were going to use Swift more. Okay. Easy One says Jalen Hurts on people calling for the tush push or brotherly love to be banned. I have no thoughts on it. We're the only people doing it as well as we are. There was a guy who even wanted me. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the press conference. We can already know that Hurts is already listening to everything that's going on right now. Shono says, I noticed that Brian isn't running the RPO nearly as much as last year. He's calling more so a traditional offense for Hurts this year, at least for the first 3 games. Yeah. A lot from the shotgun. We'll see. Gotta add a little bit more. I think we're starting to get our feel. The rhythm of Jalen Hurts. I think getting Jalen Hurts to a rhythm is what's the most important thing. So I think they got to do a little bit more. I agree. Because I want to go to my first home game this year. What games would you recommend? Well, where are you? I mean, where do you live? Well, it depends how long if you're gonna travel or you're not gonna travel. Miami is scary. Their passing game is ridiculous. It's hard not to, look at a game that a team scored 70 points. It's it's not easy to look at that and say, oh yeah, and ignore it. Reps to Joy, are you saying we had 2 first-round picks coming up and traded one away? That was the trade. What trade was it? Joey, are you saying we had 2 first-round picks coming up and the trade one away? No, we didn't have. No, going into next year, we didn't. I forgot how we got the extra second-round pick. I think it was from the Saints trade from last year, a year before. I think that extra second-round pick was from the Saints trade, I believe. I think. For Chauncey, I think that was the I don't know, actually. Oh, no, that was during the draft. Never mind. I don't know. That wasn't the Chauncey trade. That was for something else. I forgot how we got that extra second rounder. I'm having a brain fart. I don't really know. Wade P said, I agree with you, Joey. Chauncey Gardner was the biggest loss as A. Rodgers turns out to be the smart signing. Time to move on from Maddox. Yeah. Maddox is going to be like a $10 million cap hit next year. Maddox is going to be a big cap hit next year. So Maddox's last year of his contract, I think, is next year. So I don't know what they're going to do. Been hurt 4 times in 2 years. 4 times. It's crazy. Oz needs more targets in the slot. I totally agree. One day, all y'all good report. I appreciate it, man. Everybody works their asses off. That's what I like to see. I'm seeing Attila Sunday, Motionless and White Wednesday, and Polaris on Polaris is great. Attila, I used to be a huge fan of Attila. God, I have a T-shirt actually in my closet. I haven't worn in years. I've been a fan of Attila since their beginning days. Crazy. Skid Mark said if you watch Covey, his running style is Vi Sikahima. Not really fast, but shifty. Eagles Packer returner in the late 90s. I think the protection has been so good on punt returns. He was averaging like over 15 yards a punt. Like I mean that 52-yard punt return was great. I was like, no flag, please no flag. I was like to the 15, to the 20, to the 30, 35. I was like, flip it out, dude. Swift not leaving he not leaving his hometown the day he got traded. He said he just thinking about running behind our line. I think he wants to stay, dude. But is money gonna have to talk? How much money is it going to take to keep Swift in this backfield? That's going to be the question. Rico said, what's up? What's going on, Rico? John says, yeah, but to be fair, the Broncos defense isn't that good. Yeah, I get it. Well, look what Tampa did the past couple weeks. Their defense didn't give up over 20 points a game, and their offense was scoring points. I mean, they were fine. But they faced the Vikings, which they just got out of that game, and yeah, they faced the Bears. Anybody that faces the Bears, like, yeah, it's crazy. I hope Justin Fields gets traded. He's got talent. That guy doesn't deserve to be there. He deserves to be somewhere else. Beast Guards, I'm from Cali. I'll be flying to Philly for a home game. Oh, damn, nice, dude. I would go to that Sunday night game against Miami, dude. That's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be a big game. I would get tickets early so you're not paying a fortune later on, because they're gonna the ticket. The longer you wait for tickets, especially if the team is really good, it'll be going crazy. LJ says Miami scoring 70 was solid, but a lot of it was Denver essentially giving up. That D was soft. Pause. Yeah, Denver's not great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Russell Wilson looks fantastic, doesn't he? Like, Jesus Christ, that defense is bad. Man, it says Bill's going to beat Miami at home. That's their Dallas. Interesting. I would say go to the LA game, but that game's in your home state anyway. Yeah, he wants to go to he wants to go to a game at the Link, bro. Going to a game at the Link, it's different, man. It's just way different. I mean, going to Tampa was probably like an Eagles home game. I swear to God, like, holy crap. When, like, Covey got that return, the crowd was, like, so loud. I was like, damn, where are we right now? Howcast is facts. What do you think of Max? He's been light. He's been but when it comes to bigger receivers, he struggle. Yeah, I mean, I think that's happened. But he's made plays too. Like, I think he's very underrated. I don't worry about that too much with him. Goodrich is another guy that I don't think he's good against bigger tight ends, bigger receivers. His tackling isn't perfect either at times. Cora says, unfortunately, Max can walk unless he takes a pay cut. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to wait for. Like, I don't know. I mean, his contract isn't that bad, but like his cap number is the problem. His cap number is a huge problem. It's over $10 million for the year. I don't even think the Eagles are going to restructure that. They might not even, they have to give him an extension. They can't restructure because it's the last year of his deal. So if it's the last year of his deal next year, what do? Trade him? It's going to be interesting. We'll see. Dank says they're playing all the songs from About That Life album. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite albums, About That Life. It's a great album. When HP says even Eli Ricks was hyped about the Covey return. Oh, yeah. Ricks has got energy, bro. He's got energy. Johnson, I'm trying to go to the KC game. I'm 2 hours away. Yeah, definitely go to it. Yeah, we're playing KC in KC. It's going to be interesting. I want to get a fucking win on them. I don't want to get beat that week. I really don't. I'm going to go watch Swift highlights. Be right back. He said, Carter Davis, you're going to have to mortgage the team to sign those two in a few years. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You never know. Howie's very good with contracts. I wouldn't worry about it so much. Everybody was saying, Jalen Hurts gets signed. You can't sign anybody. You had 11 to 12 players from your defense in free agency leave. Your defense is done. You can't do anything this year. You know, like, never say never. Like, look at the Jalen Hurts contract. It's not even affecting this team. Between this year and next year, Jalen Hurts' cap number combined this year and next year is only $19.5 million. His biggest cap number, Jalen Hurts' biggest cap number is the last year of his deal, which is like, what, 5 years from now? What, 4 or 5 years from now? 5, 6 years from now, whatever. $30 million, which he'll never see that. We'll never see that cap number because he'll probably be extended by that time. So, I don't know. John, that's the game I'm going to. It'd be a good one, by the way. He would always win when I go to games. Oh, well, that's 6. Well, you better go then. You better go then. You got to keep that thing going. I think I've only been to what? I don't know how many games. I've been to I actually don't even know how many games I've been to. I've been to a good amount. I think I've only seen like maybe 3 losses. Maybe 3. What if the Eagles will be wearing Kelly Green versus Dolphins and Bills? Yes, the Dolphins, and then the week. Bills is what, week 12, week 13, I think. I think that's what it is. But what's going on, dude? Eagles fan says, we're going to beat Miami by playing ball control to keep the offense on the sideline. Rue says, Howie needs to get us more safeties. Yeah, we'll see what they do for the trade deadline. I mean, Reed's playing out of his mind right now. Reed is just so good. He's just so good. Justin Evans is dealing with a neck injury this week, so he didn't practice. Sidney Brown's dealing with a lower body injury. I forgot what it is. Hamstring? Or is it a ankle? Or I forgot what it was. He didn't practice today either. So you could be down to Terrell Edmonds playing next to Reed Blankenship this week. Punjab says, Miami doesn't need us good. We will control clock. Skid says, bro, Carter has more QB pressures than Donald, and Carter plays 50% of our plays. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. 69% or something like that. I mean, it's nuts, dude. It's nuts. It's crazy. Vince said, I just got home from work at 8, was mad the game started already, then turned it on and hear fans cheering for Eagles and thought we were home until I saw the big boat. It's amazing how we travel. Eagle fans travel very well. Everybody says Miami have real weapons and he'll always kill the Eagles. I hope we can defensively muck up the line of scrimmage. Yeah, we need to. I don't know. We need the best pass rush from our life that game. I mean, the good thing is for Miami, we're home, which will definitely help tremendously. Rogue says, they're a quarterback in next year's draft. That's like Sauce Gardner, who could play in the slot until we need them to start on the outside. I don't know. I've been watching a little bit of college football on Saturday. Like, I can't watch it all day, but until we get to the end of the year this year, until we get to draft time, I honestly have no idea. Well, we got 207 in the chat right now. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Like the stream if you guys have it for more Eagles content every single day. I'm trying to figure out, we usually do streams on Mondays and Fridays just by myself. Unfortunately, because of that Monday night game, it kind of ruined my whole schedule. Friday night, I'm going to be very busy doing some things. So I will be out Friday night, and I got to figure out a time to do another stream this week. I might not be able to because of the scheduling, because that Monday night game kind of screwed up my whole weekend streams. So Philly Shakedown on Saturday. And then we play our first early game on Sunday. We actually have a 1:00 game on Sunday. Thank God. Thank God we have an early game on Sunday. I'm very happy about that, no doubt. Because sometimes I get tired of the late games just a little bit, sometimes. John says, I was there when we beat the Broncos 52-24 the Super Bowl year. That game was so. Oh, yeah, that was like, the 3 touchdowns from Corey Clement? That was a good game. Yeah, the Eagles ran out of fireworks. They ran out of fireworks for the stadium because they scored so many points. They ran out of fireworks. They couldn't do the fireworks anymore. Well, if you say Andy Reid 3-0 versus Eagles, let's get the job done. Totally true. Yeah, 2017 we lost. 2017 we lost week 2, and then we lost. The hell was the third time? I forgot when besides the Super Bowl, I don't know when the other time was. It says, let's start a GoFundMe to get John to the Chiefs game. I'm down for it. Let's do it. Vince says, why aren't we not wearing the Kelly Green versus division rival? Why sweat? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't. I would have loved to do it on Christmas when we faced the Giants, to be honest. I would have loved to play it on that. Or at least Dallas. I don't know. I'm tired of losing to KC. Brown has a thigh injury. Okay. So I mean, he's got pain in his thigh. All right, so it's not like crazy serious, which it's not. Apparently, I read that the injury wasn't whatever Sidney Brown has wasn't serious, which is good. So there could be a chance he plays this week, but we'll see. Never forget when Irvin got knocked out at vet and we cheered him being literally done for his career. Gonna stay not sorry about him or Alvin Harper. Bobby says, we got the Stage 24 second-round pick from 22 draft, and we trade down with them with one of our 3 first-round. Okay. Oh, yeah, we had 3 first-round picks in that draft, and we trade one of them back. That gave us a second-round pick for this year. Damn. That's crazy. I thought it was from the Saints trade. That's what I thought. Thank you for letting me know, Bobby. Wench P says, let's beat the Cowboys in Jerry's world. Haven't beat them in Dallas since 2017. B says, is there anybody here from LA I need some Eagles friends to party with? Philly 500's in LA. Vince, I'm not worried about Miami because Tua is more worried about not getting concussed from our D-line. Kevin Banks says, we're going to spank Miami. We should be in full stride by the time we see. That's what I'm hoping, Kevin. I said this early in the stream today. I said by that time, the Eagles should be like full throttle with this offense. There should be no issues offensively. None, nothing at all. Dave says, Via Tua are good. He gets rid of the ball in 2 seconds. Buddha says, we haven't had a one Eastern game yet this year. Reb said, thoughts on Hunter Renfrow because he seems like Quez legs are made out of paper mache. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what the plan is. I think you got to put these guys in a competition, like, secretively throughout these games. You know, Quez didn't practice again today. If Quez doesn't have enough practices this week, he shouldn't play this week, no doubt. Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Zacchaeus, like, he had his best season with the Falcons last year. I mean, he played well last year for a crappy offense. I mean, he had over 500 yards last year and 2 touchdowns with the Falcons last year. You know? I get it, man. Like, I don't know what to do with Quez. This is Quez's last year of his deal. I mean, I think they move on. I think they do. If Quez isn't, you know, they obviously have to get the wide receiver 3s involved, but I don't think they hold on to Quez and re-sign him to some contract. I don't think he's going to be worth it, to be honest. Unless it's like dirt cheap and they don't give a shit, you know, then I guess I understand. Thanks. Said, what's crazy that Jalen played the QBs and went to his alma mater. Baker and Kyler went to OU. Mac and Tua went to yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. Oh, the better man is going to win. Kimar said they've never been this dominant defensively since White, Brown, Pitts, and Golic. Nobody ran on us. Remember House of Pain game. Quote of Eagles, Wes Hopkins, they brought the house. We brought the pain. Yeah, that's, oh, hell yeah, dude. Like, I feel like this is the most violent defensive line I've seen in a while where, like, I'm telling you, like, it's like a wall and it caves in on people easily. Like, it's a wall that falls down on everybody. Like, when Baker Mayfield escaped that pressure where it literally, the wall, like, closed up on him, got out of there, and that's when Nolan Smith, you know, gave that hit on him on that play. No, it's playing, it's fantastic right now. I can't complain. It's playing great. I think the defensive line is the best. I didn't think that it was going to look this great, you know, because I thought Carter was going to be an immediate impact. How many games was it going to take to get him acclimated to the defense and play well? Jordan Davis was probably the biggest surprise out of the D-line because I thought against the run he was going to be good. Always great. Has been great. I did not think that Jordan Davis was going to be like a pass rusher of this caliber already, of his career. So it's good. It's good. Coulter says Watkins could walk. C230 says Quez had over 500 yards in 21, being the number 2, while Zacchaeus last year also being number 2 at over 500. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a year-to-year league, dude. It's a year-to-year league. Like last year for Zacchaeus doesn't matter. I'm just giving stats to what he did last year as a pure slot. Quez, in my opinion, isn't a pure slot. I think a lot of Eagles fans think that Quez is more of an outside guy. I think there were times he could have had more yards last year. 100%. As a wide receiver 3, I think it's one of the most horrible positions because I think you just have to be ready when your number's called. And when Hurts is extending plays, you got to try to get open, and you always have to be on alert. There were times last year when Quez Watkins was wide open and not paying attention to Jalen Hurts throwing the football to him, and he totally just wasn't on the same page because you have to be ready as a wide receiver 3. Because as a wide receiver 3, you're not the main focal point of the offense. You're not, that's why I think wide receiver 3 is one of the worst positions to play because your number is called whenever it's called, and that's it. That just happens sometimes. But we'll see. Johnson, why hasn't Albert O been playing? Do they not try? No, they're just not. They're not activating 4 tight ends in one game. You're not going to activate 4 tight ends in one game. They trade for him. I think he might get a shot this year, but I don't think they're in a rush to throw him in a game right now. So he was a healthy scratch for the first game because he's taken up. When do the Eagles keep 4 tight ends? Never. They never do. By next offseason, someone's getting cut. It's going to be most likely Calcaterra because I think Albert O is a really good player. I think obviously we were last on the waiver wire list, so there's no way if the Broncos put him on waivers, Albert O on waivers, he wouldn't have lasted. The Eagles would not be able to. He would have got taken in 2 seconds. Albert O can block. Albert O can get contested catches. Albert O might be the fastest. What does he run, a 4.49? Albert O is probably the fastest tight end we have right now. Unfortunately, Stahl is always going to be, I think Stahl's still going to be here because he's got a lot of value when it comes to his blocking. I think that's the number one thing they like about him. He can get separation. He gets separation at times. He's a bigger tight end. He's got some reliable hands at times. So, Calcaterra might be the fastest tight end if Albert O wasn't here, and he was. But, I think Calcaterra is great, but there's only so many you can carry on your roster. You can't activate 4 tight ends every single game. You don't need to activate 4 tight ends. Okay, I think they're stocking up on players, the Isaiah Rodgers and trading for Albert O. They're stacking guys because I think Albert O will be the number 3 tight end going into next season. I think he will be. He's had a lot of, he has started before and he had a really good preseason. Fantastic. So we'll see. Daniel Martinez is bigger fan. That you mentioned you're into Attila type music, Soda in the Water Cup. Yeah, back in the day, bro. That was a long time ago. Yeah, back in the day. I think I went to go see them live once. Yeah, because I want to see what Ricks can do. I believe in Job or our next set of outside corners. Yeah, I don't know about Job too much. I mean, he's been playing okay the past couple weeks, but I'm not gonna say he's a quality number 2. I'm not going to say that yet. That's a little too premature right now. But Ricks, we'll see. I know Ricks has gone against, obviously, Ricks is another one I think has gone against some really good talent, especially in the preseason when he went against Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman from the Colts, and he did a fantastic job. The pick 6 against the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, he was just making play. I haven't seen a cornerback make plays like that, and the only issue, I think the reason why he was undrafted was because he's had a lot of injuries from LSU to Alabama, being one of the best corners, in college football at Alabama, and really getting humbled going to an NFL roster, having to climb his way up to the top again. I like his pushback mentality. He likes getting people's. I like his attitude. I really like Eli Ricks. Eli Ricks has a huge shot for the future of becoming a starting outside corner. I really would like to see what he could do. I don't know. They might just value Job a little bit more because he's been here longer. Job has been here longer. I get it. So maybe, maybe they're just a little, not worried, but Frank Speaks, I still think giving Julio Jones a call wouldn't be the worst idea for the remainder of the season. Yeah, we'll see. Like, if you want to add, look, if they want to add like a bigger receiver on the inside, you want to call Julio Jones and just have him play on the inside as like a bigger receiver, just for size difference. If you want to use somebody fast like Zacchaeus, or you want to use somebody more of a veteran, if you want a bigger receiver on the inside, that's fine. That's fine. But I don't know if they'll do it though. Vince said Rick should start in the slot like next week. He's that game ready to go. Yeah, I wouldn't put him in the slot. No, he's outside. He's an outside corner. You're not. Yeah, C23 is outside. Yeah, you're not putting him in the. You're not putting him on the inside. Especially with the talent that he has, you're not wasting him on the inside. So, Vincent Bradbury put down film for Ricks to study playing slot as a longer guy. Yeah, I mean, can he play it well? Like, that's the thing. Like, you can watch as much tape as you want, but can you do it? And can you do it well? Can you play both positions and play both of them well? So. Because, yeah, the Saints got a nice receiver because of us. Olave's great. Olave's great. I like him. Zeke going off against the Cowboys. I am going to be the biggest Ezekiel Elliott fan. The biggest. I think that's the biggest loss to the Cowboys run game. I think when it comes to red zone, I think losing Zeke was a huge deal. Okay? Deuce Vaughn was their best pick in the draft. I think we could firmly say that. And Deuce Vaughn's okay. Deuce Vaughn's good. I don't think he's a bad running back. I think he's got big lower body. He's got great balance. He could break tackles. He can make guys miss. He's very athletic. He's very elusive. I like Deuce Vaughn. I think they just did one of the Cowboy front office guys a favor and drafted his son. But he's got talent though. He's got talent. I like to make a joke about it, but he's got talent. I think that's the biggest loss the Cowboys have with Ezekiel Elliott in that red zone. Ezekiel Elliott's going to have something to prove. Going into this game, like, they want to win. The Patriots want to win for him. Are they going to win? I don't know. Do they have a bigger chance now after seeing what happened last week? Now with Trayvon Diggs being out, the offensive line is not great. They're moving guys all over the place. We'll see. Kevin said, I think Job going to develop into a good corner. Him and Ricks just need reps. Yeah, I agree. I think Job is fine. Like, I think he's good right now. Like, I think he hasn't won every matchup, but I think for a guy that has been played his second game so far, I think has done pretty solid for us. Vincent said, Cowboys are missing Zeke big time. He was their short yardage guy and pass blocker. Yeah, I agree. One piece of Joey, listen, I would not be surprised if the Pats beat the Bills, sign Will Grier to their practice squad. That would tell you something. Shit. See, say Lord Brunson said the Cowboys will only win 3 games. Oh, he's been on them on Twitter, man. But Lord Brunson's been he's been going after all the Cowboy Twitter guys nonstop. I don't think it's only gonna be a 3-win season. I highly doubt that. What are the other 2 wins? So probably against the Giants, most likely, because the Giants are just horrific. But we'll see. What's the other loss? What's the other loss they could lose to? KC. Who else are they facing? Probably. Sorry, the other win. What's their third win? If it's the Giants, who else are they winning against? Who else is bad on the Cowboys schedule? Wednesday said they don't have Kellen Moore. Yeah, it's like, it's nuts because I feel like they're playing worse now. I feel like they peaked way too early. They got too much on a high. They made a bigger deal out of themselves in the first 2 weeks of a season, man. They made themselves. It's quiet. Look, where are the Cowboy fans at? Nowhere to go. They'll be back once we lose our first game. They'll be back. It's stupid. Like, last year, we were on a roll last year, and I wasn't pumping my chest like Super Bowl in week 3, week 4 of the season. No, dude. Like, when did I do that last year? Never did that shit. Ever. Bobby says Cowboys are missing Zeke in their red zone offense. Absolutely agree. It's the biggest loss. They got too many small backs. They got way too many. Tony Pollard, he's good. But they don't got a big power back. Ronald Jones they got rid of Ronald Jones. And he was like, I guess I thought he was like the Zeke, I thought he was the substitution for Zeke. Ronald Jones has been hurt, but is Pat's defense going to be on Dak? See, I think they will go 9-8 because Dak is. Yeah, I get it. A1 says, they don't use Quez how they should use due to super fast. Why not run some end around sweeps and screens with him? Yeah, they don't really do that. They haven't really been doing that. Even with Zacchaeus, they have. Zacchaeus is a burner. He's got some good speed. They still hold in the morning. Still hiding in mama's closet. Don't invite them in. I don't invite them in. I try to make this a subscriber-only stream, but they are subscribed. So sometimes I don't think they are subscribed. They just find that I'm live, like on recommendations, and then they go to it. Because I usually have, these streams are mostly subscriber-only. Because to be honest with you guys, like, I've been doing this for like almost 8 years now, and like, I'm 33 years old, and like, I've been dealing with this. The channel as it gets bigger, you're going to deal with shit like this. I get it. Like, it's going to happen. But at least if Cowboy fans, like, I have a couple Cowboy fans in my channel that are moderators. They're good people. They're cool. Like, I got no issue with them. Like, they talk their shit, but they're not spamming the chat. They're not just saying shit, they're not making no sense sometimes. Like, you just can't have a good conversation with anybody these days, Cowboy fans were legit saying they won the offseason when they signed a washed-up Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, and he didn't play well. I think with Diggs being out now, I mean, look what the Cardinals did with Hollywood Brown. I mean, Hollywood Brown's not even the best receiver they're going to face this year. And, like, Hollywood Brown, they had an issue with Hollywood Brown that's not even like what he was. I mean, I think there's obviously some issues with, kind of the chemistry with Dobbs and Brown a little bit, but it's not even the biggest worry. Like, they got burned by Hollywood. I mean, just, they're using, and what's crazy? The content creators for the Cowboys that are on Twitter, half of them barely even make, like, after they lost their game against the Cardinals, there was no video out for the next 2-3 days. Like, why are these guys acting like a bunch of bitches every week why is it they lose and then they don't got the balls to make a video that night. None of them make videos the night when they lose, or the day that they lose. They never make videos. They always wait like 2-3 days after the fact. It makes no sense, man. Like, are you that, like, seriously, can nobody take a loss and like suck it up and just deal with it? Like, half of these guys, like, just, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And then they go on, they'll tweet all day. And do all that shit. But they won't make a video. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Oh, Rondale Moore. Yeah, Rondale Moore was a problem too. And he's a wide receiver. They used him as a running back. Rondale Moore is fast, man. He's small, but he's quick. He's quick. Did a great job. And Dobbs, to be honest with you, Dobbs looked very good. I think Dobbs was on, like, the Titans practice squad, wasn't he? Dobbs was on it, and he looked horrible. I think Dobbs actually has looked pretty good. I think he's looked the RPOs, some of the, the read options. I think Dobbs has actually looked pretty good offensively for the Cardinals. I think he's looked really good. He's looked a lot better. I know. I think Gilmore's a decent corner, but I think now with Trayvon Diggs not being around, there's so many more to target now. Rigo said, I like to see the offense go hurry up. Yeah, we'll see. Gilmore gave away the game with a 10-yard cushion on the goal line. Who will win, Dolphins or Eagles? Brian Dines said, football knowledge is appreciated no matter who, just don't. Well, I do. I mean, look, like, on YouTube, you can be whatever you want. The good thing about YouTube isn't for smart people. YouTube, you can act like a total asshole on YouTube and get a lot of attention, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to be the smartest guy on YouTube when it comes to sports. I don't believe that. If you just like a team, like, at the end of the day, like, if you guys like me for who I am, maybe you guys are here because I have a little bit of football knowledge. I have played college football. I played college football for a couple years, but I never coached a team. Like, I'm just a casual fan. I am pretty much like you guys, like, just watching the game. I'm just a content creator. I talk about it on camera. That's the only difference between you and me at the end of the day. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, do I ever not make a video after a game, win or loss? You know, like, it sucks. Do you think I want to make a video after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl? It sucked. I got to talk about free agents, and I got to talk about free agents next week after losing the Super Bowl. It's a crappy feeling. It's horrible, but I have no choice. What am I supposed to do? Ball up, crawl up in a corner, and fucking... What am I supposed to do? Go in the fetal position in the corner and fucking cry about it? No. I have to move on. I have to live my fucking life. Like, you know, it's football at the end of the day. Like, what, you know, like, life goes on. You know, it sucks. It's a shitty feeling, but what are we supposed to do, man? Joey, that's marketing. Kid says, I've been an Eagles fan for over 30 years. I've seen hell even when I was a kid, so you treasure these years. You all should. Yeah, dude, like, I treasure every day. I treasure every day. Chris Sims doesn't hate the Eagles, hating on us for clout. Oh, that's true. Tell me something I don't know. I'm not the GOAT, dude. I'm not the GOAT at all. I'm just a fan. That's it. I'm just a fan with a subscriber count. Who cares, you know? Like, the only thing I care about is you guys. You guys make this channel what it is. Like me, I just bring my takes, whether they make sense. I'm right, I'm wrong. That's it. Joey, the language. Well, that's what happens. I get on a roll. Trust me, that's why I can't curse in. But trust me, if I was able to curse in videos, like I'd do it, but I can't because YouTube, you know, they strike your channel for that stuff. It sucks. You know, live streams, it's weird. Like, I can make a video and curse so much in it, and they strike my channel down. They'll strike my video down. They'll demonetize it. But then when I, like, game day, I'm cursing every 2 seconds on game day when I'm doing a live play-by-play. If you're here for the live play-by-plays, trust me. And they don't strike that. They don't demonetize it at all. It's weird. It's very, very weird. Cowboy fans are sore losers. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I even looked to see if some Cowboy creators actually made videos on that game. I haven't checked recently, but I checked like a day or two after the Cardinals game. There was no videos. I'm just like, what's with these guys? Like, seriously, are you that embarrassed? Like, a half of these guys, they're just too embarrassed to make a video and be like, well, we lost. All the crap that I was saying, you know, like, eat your crow, bro. Eat your crow. That's why I don't go into games saying, oh, we're going to dominate. I don't do all that shit. You know, people do that shit to get attention, maybe get some clicks, whatever. Like, it's the normal shit that everybody does now. You know, I get it. It's the name of the game. Crazy, though. What's going on, Rylan? Chris Sims and Carter is like Warren Sapp. Yeah. He said Carter is like Warren Sapp. Nah, he could be true, man. Could be true. Housecat says, I paid $1,200 for nosebleeds at Super Bowl 52. That's my profile pic. Let me get a wrench and not Cowboy fans. I got you. $1,200? Man. Yeah. I could spend that money and go to a nosebleed Super Bowl, maybe. But I don't know if I would. I would love to do it, but I don't know if I would do it. You know? I would love to, but the Cowboys had their time. It's called the 1990s. Rio says, keep running the brotherly shove to piss off Sims. Oh, hell yeah. I'm running that play more times and more times. Every time we got to 3rd and short or something, like I was like, tush, push, tush, let's do the tush, push. Until before we saw that it was called the brotherly shove. We got to get T-shirts out. But I see zero issues with what Sims. He sounded like a Philly fan. Seth Joyner wouldn't concur. Would concur. Sorry. Matt says, and what's funny, as soon as we lose, then they resurface again because we are rent-free in their head. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens every time. As soon as we lose our first game, they'll be swarming. It's like, dude, you guys haven't been here for weeks. Just stop. Just stop. Clutch says, could they end up releasing Jonathan Taylor? I don't know. He's still on IR, isn't he? Chris says, more often than not, guaranteeing a win jinxes the team. Yeah, I don't like doing that shit. I don't like doing it. I'm like, I believe in that karma shit. I believe in it. I believe when you say stuff, some shit, it happens. Or if something, if you do something bad towards somebody, it haunts you in some way of events that happens down the road. Like, I totally believe in that. I've always believed in that. Maybe people don't believe in that shit, but I 100% believe in that shit. There's no doubt. No doubt. Oh, I didn't mean to kill. I'm not saying kill him. You know, like oh, you just said it. You said you want to. They should headhunt Jalen Hurts. So you want him to get a concussion and like really, like what are you saying? John says Cowboys fans can't say anything. They lost to Josh Dobbs. I get it, dude. Chris says 60 play drive using the QB push the whole time. Imagine doing that play like the whole entire series, like a whole entire series. That shit is funny though. Dude, you know, here's the truth. The truth is 75 to 80% of Cowboy fans that actually live in Texas don't actually like Dak Prescott. Seriously, like the only reason we're hearing about like people saying good things about him or they still believe in him is because like they're just trying to be different. They don't want to tell themselves the truth. Like seriously, like I'm telling you, most Cowboy fans in Texas do not like. Seriously, they don't like Dak Prescott at all. Most fans, 70. I even read it. 70. Like people did a poll in Texas on are people actually rooting for Dak Prescott? Do they actually like Dak Prescott? I'm telling you. Rio says that Mazi Smith pick was hilarious. It was. He's got one tackle, dude. They said he was going to be better than Jordan Davis. It was like when they said Mazi Smith, they thought they meant Nolan Smith. You know, it's a joke, man. Another first round, They should have went, dude. They should have went after Kincaid. They should have went up and got Kincaid. That would have been a good pick for them. Even though their tight end now is okay, but I think Kincaid's a good player. Yeah, well, dude, like I don't even follow them at all. I don't like Jakeem Media in general because they almost got my channel strike down, by the way. Remember, like I don't know if it was a year or two ago, and I was waking up at 5 a.m, listening to the radio. I would do a live stream where we all listen to the radio. I would turn the volume down for the music and stuff like that. And they actually striked my channel for it. They striked my radio. Jakeem actually striked my channel. I was really pissed off. I tweeted them out and was really pissed off. These are the Jakeem Media and the rest. Like these are the guys that are trying to get on YouTube and try to get their numbers up and try to do all this other shit. But because there's a lot of content creators that are successful when it comes to all of the NFL and all of sports. There's a lot of content creators out there that are doing fantastically well. Like me, I'm a fucking small channel compared to a million others. I work on 2 YouTube channels full time. I work on this. I work on another channel. I work a 9 to 5 job every day. Like I don't sit here all day and look at everybody's content and go on Twitter and have the time to tweet all fucking day. Like I don't have time for it. You said, yeah, I've been blocked many times on Law's channel and Holmes. Yeah, no, I follow their stuff, but I didn't like the fact that they tried to strike my shit down. It really, I had YouTube contact me that that there was a manual that they sent out that Jakeem Media sent out I don't know, it was an email or it was something to YouTube or it was a copyright something. They sent something out manually to YouTube to check out my channel and what I did it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I hate that shit. Because you know what? When the Philadelphia Eagles, when their YouTube channel wasn't even like good a long time ago, we, as the content creators, we were putting their shit out. We were making them look good from what the shit they couldn't put out. Simple as that. That's 100% truth. The YouTube channel for the Eagles years ago, shit sucked. They didn't update it. It was just horrible. It was that bad. You know? And then they caught on, and then they caught on finally. You know what I mean? Like, see, like, I don't, you know, I would like to do more. Like, YouTube is just very, they block you from doing so much. I can't throw videos and clips. I could put clips of like train camp and stuff like that. It's hard. You can't put clips on here anymore. You can't put clips. You can't, they like easily, boom, they hit you. Like easily. You can't put up anything on here. It sucks. Matt says, yeah, I do my best to never give Jakiva attention whatsoever because me, all they do is try to rile people. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I can make a video and be very realistic and be like, hey, like, Rashad Penny's not playing. Like, why is this happening? Not like Rashad Penny is secretly mad at the, you know, Rashad Penny is mad at the Eagles. You know, what Rashad Penny just said to the Eagles in the front office room in front of Howie Roseman. You know what I mean? I don't like the stupid shit titles that they put out on these stupid videos. I'm telling you, I can go on and on about it. I can go on and on about that shit. It pisses me off. Every time I click on something, it's always something else. It's always something else. That's what a lot of people do. Unfortunately, that's how people get a lot of people to their content for that fucking reason. Like that's the way it goes. I'm very realistic. I don't sugarcoat anything. Like, I don't sit on YouTube all day. I don't go and, like, I don't sit on Twitter. I don't go on other people's channels and look at what they're doing and, oh, they made this. Oh, I don't do that shit. I don't. The only time I find out about shit is when people send me messages. I get a lot of messages on Twitter. People either they hear my name somewhere or I don't know. Something happens. I always know about it. I don't find out myself, you know? Vince says, does anybody remember the Bitterbirds, Adrian? What happened to him? The update was something about Miley Cyrus. Yeah, there was, I don't know the whole story, but I know that's some really bad. I know some things about it behind the scenes, which I won't say, but I know that some shit happened. You know? I know some shit happened. And that was the first ever podcast I ever went on someone else's channel. The first ever was on Adrian's channel. That was the first channel I was ever on to talk about the Eagles, ever, when I first started. And he was and Adrian's a great guy. Respectful, great dude, you know. Yo, Terrabelly, what's up, dude? What is going on, man? He says, congrats, Joeyshakes. Eagles starting strong again. Hell yeah, dude. You know, we're back on our stuff, you know. I know the Giants are struggling. I get it, and, you know, look, man, like Daniel Jones, they pay him $40 million a year. There's no number one receiver. Waller is just not enough for the offense. Protection is bad. I get it, dude. I know it's frustrating to watch a team. Trust me, I've had seasons like that a long time ago, so I get it. I get it. But I hope you're doing good, Terrabelly. I don't know if you're still making content or whatnot, but I hope you're doing good, man. Matt said, this is one of the many reasons we respect and support you, Joey, because you always keep it 100. That's it, dude. Trust me, like, I've said some stupid shit on here. Trust me. I've said stupid shit on Twitter. I've started shit when I shouldn't have. I've opened my mouth about stupid things that I probably shouldn't have. I get it. You know, I get it. Must be the Land Dickerson pancake block was nasty. Which one? I saw one. I don't know if it was a pancake or he just, like, rolled somebody to the ground. I subscribed to him quickly. Francis, deep penetration. You remember you used to say it? Deep penetration. I used to love that. Oh, God, imagine what he would say with Carter and all that. Father of Three says, shout out to Covey as the underdog everyone hates. Sounds like Philly. Shock the world, bro. Hey, I eat my own words. For one game, I eat my own words. I wanted him off the team and released. I mean, not released, but I wanted someone else to get a shot at punt return. So, I eat my words. I was wrong. So, I think the blocking was a lot better. And Covey, I guess, you know, you just have to give Covey more room to, you know, get more good protection downfield before those gunners get down there. And when he has enough space, he can get yards automatically. And that's what it looked like last week. Can he keep it going? We'll see. Dickerson, I think he was light. But he should be playing this week. I heard he was playing. Everybody says, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. One season at a time. That's it, man. That's it. At the end of the day, think of it like this. At the end of the day with the Giants, okay? Well, I mean, to be honest, it's just sucks Daniel Jones is paid right now, so it kind of sucks. I don't know how you feel about Daniel Jones at all, so I don't know. I know some fans are. I know a lot of Giant fans are. I live in New York, so I'm always around Giant Jet fans. I mean, Giants and Jets. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know how you feel about Daniel Jones, but at the end of the day, if getting a better draft pick is what's going to matter for next season for something important, maybe that's the direction they're going to have to go. We'll see. And honestly, to be honest, dude, I think the Giants have to go out and get more. I think they have to go get Mike Evans. I honestly think they missed out on getting DeAndre Hopkins. I think they need to get a legit number one guy. And it's still not going to be enough because I think the protection's bad. I think Barkley, obviously needs to get healthy, but oh, he was full. Dickerson was full. Oh, that's good. But you know what I mean, man. Vince, a Dickerson murder guy has the nerve to say he got hurt. Oh, well, he did. I don't know what play it was. Did Dan Sileo play for the Buccaneers? Why does he even work for? I don't know, man. I don't really. I don't even follow. Like I see his tweets come up because a lot of the people that I follow, they put up his stuff all the time. Like that's probably one of the main reasons. YP Dickerson was full. Alex says we will split with Washington. That's what I'm afraid of. I think that we have 3 1:00 games. The 2 1:00 games we have are against Washington. We might not. We might shut him down this year. Yeah, Cam played his best game. He played his best game. Yo, what up, Bird Gang? What's going up, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. Hope you're having a fantastic night. Chris says Giants, Jets, and Bills. Who's the worst fan base in New York? I don't know. I like the worst fan base. I haven't ran into a bunch of Bills fans to really say. Giants and Jets, I don't know. I honestly don't think they're. I don't know, actually. Because you know what? Because the Eagles have owned the Giants. Like you put over 100 points on them last year in 3 games. It's just they didn't really have much talk going into this season. Like, when they were facing the Cowboys the first game, I remember the announcers on Sunday night were like, oh, look at all the Giants going into the season, all the speed. I'm like, all the speed? Like, you're talking, what are you talking about? All the speed that they have. Speed doesn't make up for, like, oh yeah, this guy's fast, so that means he's a good player. No, it does not. It's so not. Thanks says, I'm kind of mad that I bought a Kelly Green cat. It doesn't fit my big-ass skull. I got a big head, too, so I get it. Pause. But, Matt says, but, man, do I want to get back at them badly Sunday for how we got embarrassed by them home last year? Yeah. I'm actually glad I wasn't happy that they lost, but we were due a loss sometime. To be undefeated sucks. Like, being undefeated just sucks because I feel like when you're undefeated, there's so much pressure on the team to stay undefeated. And then once they lose that game, then they could, like, take a breather, relax, and reset themselves. I felt like they really needed that. I am not a fan of having an undefeated season. I'm not, because the pressure just gets more and more and more and more, and it just gets to that. It just gets to that whole thing. John says, New York Jet fans are annoying, so are the Giants fans. I look at Bills fans like one of us. Yeah, Bills fans are crazy, man. With those tables, what they do they were baptizing children on tables. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's fucking crazy, dude. Father Cecilio is a week-by-week commander. If your team sucks that week, he's going to rip you, but he picks the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. He wants to get the Eagles fans riled up. That's how it is. Burgess is finishing up. We're listening to what's the one thing you still worried about. The one thing I'm worried about, I don't know. It probably goes to red zone. I guess I guess trying to get this red zone thing going on. They need to run the football, getting more of the, getting more of Dallas Goedert involved, getting, the wide receiver 3 involved. I would really like to see I would like to see the running backs in the passing game. And defensively, the only issue that I have right now is just the soft zone coverage, really playing too much zone. I think you can get so many. I think you can get another 4 to 5 sacks. I mean, even more than that. Just imagine playing a little bit more press, just a little bit, But really, other than that, it's all fixable. It's all fixable, Yeah, baptizing. I'm not even kidding. There's videos of Bills fans baptizing their kids on tables, not like violently, but like it'll be like a little table made of like paper or something really light, and he baptized his child. He placed the baby on the table, a little table, and it broke. Like, he held the baby the whole time as he was putting on the table. He didn't like drop the baby, go crazy. But yeah. Thanks. I don't think Eagles go undefeated, but I'm picking them every game. So that's all that matters, dude. Yep, to me, getting the loss out of the way relieves a lot of the pressure to me. Sometimes helps the team get it. Yeah, it's like a nice reset, a mind reset, Like sometimes being undefeated sucks. Like it's 3-0. There's not much pressure right now because it's early in the season still. If the Eagles are like 6-7-0, then it's going to be like, it's going to start to get a little crazy. LaShawn McCoy needs to be on our scout team. Glad he got 2 rings. Even he wished he won't. Oh, he won with the Eagles. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. His story says, Joey, who is your biggest surprise on offense and defense so far this year? Biggest surprise? Defensively, I think Jordan Davis, because I didn't think he was going to be much of a pass rusher this year. I think he's really surprised me a lot. Going like I thought like against the run he'd be great, but I didn't think that pass rush would develop at all this year. Maybe a little bit, but not that great. It's fantastic. Biggest surprise on offense? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think I have one because I know what everyone could do. Like, I'm not surprised at what's happened with our offense so far this year. What player has surprised me on offense? I don't really know, to be honest. I already know Swift was going to be great, and if he got his opportunities, like I'm not really surprised at anything. I think I'm already I'm content with what we're doing on offense because I know the players that we have offensively. I think Zach Cunningham is a bigger surprise. I didn't think he, when he signed, making the team was surprising, and then how he's been playing has been really good. We'll see. Skid says, lived in Seattle area. They're passionate about the Hawks. Now Ravens fans kind of okay, so they lost. All the Baltimoreans. Matt says, yeah, once we get to 7-0 and so on, things get really amped up. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, Zacchaeus a big surprise. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I know what Zacchaeus can do. I know he's a burner. I guess what I could say that's surprising is them getting him involved in a game is surprising because they really haven't got much of the wide receiver 3s involved, period, in the past few weeks. So maybe not much of Zacchaeus, but much more of the offense getting him involved is the bigger surprise because I know that Zacchaeus has the talent. Would make sense. Samalo getting exposed in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he's playing bad, huh? What I didn't get about Samalo was why was he signed so late? He was one of the guards that was signed really friggin' late. Really late. We've made a lot of people look very offensive line wise. Brandon Brooks as well, another guy that was an athletic guard for the Texans. He was a lot younger at that time back in 2016, but look what they turned him into. Look what they turned Jordan Mailata into as a rugby player, 7th round pick. Like what? I mean, it's just insane. I think the only offensive lineman that had high hopes that I think the Eagles totally ruined was Andre Dillard. They ruined Andre Dillard. I don't care. As much as Andre Dillard had injuries, they ruined him because they redshirted. As a first-round pick with the 21st, 22nd overall pick, they ruined him. They redshirted him his first year. Jason Peters was here. They redshirted him. He played right tackle for that. Remember, he played right tackle for a few games that he got his confidence blown out. They put him at right tackle for 3 games. The first game he got destroyed. I think that was the Washington game. I don't remember, but they ruined Andre Dillard, and he's not really playing well for the Texans. For the Titans right now. He's not playing too well. So, Matt says that play to me with Hurts staying in the pocket was true patience to open the day for Oz to end scoring. That touchdown in the end zone, that play had me nervous though. Yeah, because by the time Jalen Hurts threw the touchdown to Zacchaeus, by the time he threw that ball, he threw that ball when nobody was open. He just threw it in the direction that he kind of saw Zacchaeus going. When he was still covered and got that, and that ball almost got tipped. One of the guys in the back, one of the guys in the secondary almost hit that ball like by a fingertip. It was pretty close. Maybe it was a little bit higher, I don't know, but from the side view, it looked like it was almost touched. But those 2 plays to Zacchaeus, that one on the left sideline, he was very patient. That was over 5 to 6 seconds of protection, bro. 5 to 6 seconds of pure protection. It's nuts, dude. It's crazy. Wait, I heard we got a 4th-round pick comp from Dillard. Yeah, we probably did. I don't know. Like, until we get like by the end of the year, once we get like the comp picks, what everything looks like, usually we get it. I think usually during season, we definitely get the comp picks of what they're going to look like later at the end of the season. So we'll see. Stalin University, bro. Press Taylor calling plays for Jags. No wonder why they 1-2. Yeah, dude. That's what Doug wanted to do before they fired Doug. That's what Doug wanted to do. I don't know if it was that the Eagles didn't allow Doug to go out and get his own guys, or was Doug just didn't want to deal with anybody different as an OC. Because remember, the Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie wanted to fire. If you guys remember, Frank Reich was supposed to be fired after 2016. Frank Reich was actually supposed to get fired after that first year. And Doug stopped it from happening. They want to give Frank Reich another year. Thank God. Okay? But when Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson had that meeting for going into the 21 season, okay? Doug's initial idea was to bring up Press Taylor as the OC. And then they were done. This is obviously before Howie Roseman started drafting well. I think part of Howie Roseman and why Howie Roseman wasn't drafting well, because I think he was butting heads with everybody. I think Howie Roseman was butting heads with Andy Weidel when he was here. He's with the Steelers now, but when he was here, I think Andy Weidel was a big front office guy that was bumping heads too much. Isn't it nice to draft guys and they actually get playing time? Like, it's so nice. Because really, after the Super Bowl in 2017, all they did was restructure. They were drafting so bad, and they were restructured. We didn't start drafting well until, like, I'd say 2019. Oh, right. The Miles Sanders, Avonte Maddox draft, Dallas Goedert. That wasn't too bad of a draft. But it was hit or miss with a lot of players. Hit or miss, you know? Kind of nuts. But oh, look, Bijan's a friggin' beast, bro. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. Bijan's a beast. I feel like the Eagles would have took Bijan at 10 if the Bears stayed at 9 and the Eagles couldn't move. I think the Eagles would have drafted him 100%. I had Bijan as the 3rd best talent in this draft. 3rd. Okay. 3rd best talent. Yes, I wanted to get Bijan. I wanted to get Bijan or sign a running back. I said, we need a running back. They let Miles Sanders walk. I'm like, they got to go after Dalvin Cook. They got to go DeAndre Swift. We talked about Swift. We talked about a bunch of players. 3rd day of the draft. 3rd day of the draft. They traded for Swift. So things happen for a reason, guys. Things happen for a reason. You know? That's what happens, man. But yeah, other than that, that's it. We've been over like I don't know how long this stream's been going on. An hour? Oh, 2 hours, 24 minutes. God damn, we've been on for a while. So yeah, other than that, since the Monday night game screwed up my streaming, usually if we have a game on Sunday, I stream on Monday and then Friday, and then we do the shakedown Saturday, Sunday, all that great stuff. So I don't know when I'm doing a stream this week. Friday night, I am busy. I was going to do it Thursday, but today's Wednesday. I don't want to do 2 streams in a row. I don't want to do 2 streams in a row at all. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Might just wait till the shakedown on Saturday. Or maybe I'll try to fit in a stream for a strict hour tomorrow night. Maybe. We'll talk about Washington. We'll kind of go maybe into some other things. I don't know yet. But the Monday night game kind of screwed up my scheduling for the week when it comes to some of the streams. So I got one in today. It's all that matters. We usually do 4. We do what? Monday, Friday, Saturday, and 2 streams. We do 5 streams a week on the channel. About 5. I added in 2 streams a week because I felt like I really wanted to connect more with you guys instead of just making video after video after video, and doing all that. So if there's 155 people to chat, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Definitely like the stream if you guys haven't. Cover the Eagles every single day. We're going to have some updates for the channel really soon on some other things, but I will be doing my play-by-play reaction this Sunday at 1 o'clock for the Eagles-Washington game. So most likely, as of right now, probably won't have a stream until Saturday. We'll see how it goes. For the Philly Shakedown Saturday to talk about the game against Washington. And, yeah, we'll just go forward from there. We'll have videos out tomorrow, and, we'll have some other... I had 2 videos. I've been trying to put out at least 2 videos a day. I had a couple videos come out today. So definitely check those out if you guys haven't, but definitely like the stream. Definitely subscribe. And that's it. You guys have a great day. I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy it all. Shakes, what up, follows, fly. Peace out, guys. Peace. You guys have a great night. Peace out.